It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. With new cars arriving daily, now's the time to get in and get away. Lease a Santa Fe for $269 a month or get 2.99% APR plus 3 years complimentary maintenance. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
You've been waiting. It's your time. Fall is coming, and it's still 80 degrees. Minor detail. Fall hard with a $3 medium pumpkin spice signature latte from Dunkin'.
Where is Monica Pearson?
She's on Peachtree TV.
Where is Monica Pearson?
Talking to famous Georgians.
That's where I'll be.
Getting the answers you've always wanted to hear.
Watch Monica Pearson one-on-one on Peachtree TV.
She's on Peachtree TV. And you can stream Monica Pearson one-on-one anytime on the CBS 46 streaming channel. It's available on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.
Welcome back to the Tailgate Show presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. What a game. North Atlanta gets the victory. You guys trailed the entire time until minute 10 left. Fight was unbelievable, and we are now joined by our offensive and defensive MVPs presented by Gatorade. We're going to start with tight end Randolph Smith. You had the game-winning touchdown, 3 touchdowns to just cap a monster performance. Just talk about this game and just what made it so special for you.
We've been working so hard in the offseason. You know, we've been underdogs we lost to a bunch of key players on the O-line, and we just brought new guys in and they had to work and we got it done. So, it was a different kind of grind this summer, so it paid off tonight.
Yeah, you guys certainly never stopped fighting, and anyone go to the Corky Kell Twitter account, take a look at that replay. We got a great angle, unbelievable catch. And now we're gonna go to the defensive side, Zayden Benson. So what's interesting about you really started for the first time last year. You're a junior now. To start off with 2 interceptions in this big game, just talk about how you did it.
Well, I would just say it's a lot of coaching. Sorry, I lost my voice. But it's just the coaching. They helped me through. You know, I started last year, but I've had a lot of my teammates are great. They've helped us through the process, and I just think we work great together as a team, and that team chemistry is what helps us and everyone else get better and just, play ball.
And you play center field too, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you look like a center fielder out there.
Thank you.
Well, great job, guys. Congratulations. Unbelievable performances. And we thank you guys. And we're going to be, absolutely. We're going to be joined now, though, by the game's MVP. We're going to bring on Randy Beal for a special presentation. And it is none other than quarterback Trey Lennon. So, Trey, you came over to North Atlanta last year. This is your second season. You talk about some of the quarterbacks you want to emulate, but you did it all today. You kept your team alive. You scrambled. You picked up the first downs. You made the throws.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about this performance.
Overall, I really want to thank my team first because from the first quarter to the fourth quarter, they gave me their all on both sides of the ball. My guys up front, my guys on the perimeter, my guys in the trenches on the D-line, my secondary guys on the defense, and I want to thank them first. And I just played my heart out tonight, and I want to thank everybody for supporting me.
All right, we're going to go to Randy now.
Yeah, just want to say on behalf of GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com, the Dave Hunter and Robbie Hunter family, congratulations on being the Robbie Hunter MVP player of the game.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
So, real quick, Trey, I want to just talk about what this win's going to mean for North Atlanta moving forward. They talked about some of the losses last year. You guys played in a tough region. But, this is a big statement you guys made tonight.
Yes, sir. I think it showed that we're here and we're coming out to fight, and we're coming for it all. My team has that dog in them. They want to win. All of us want to win. And I feel like this is a statement to let everybody in Georgia know North Atlanta is a team to watch out for.
The Dubs. The
yes,
Dubs.
Sir, the Dubs.
This is one of the reasons we love this contest. Look at that smile on his face.
Well earned. Well, we're going to go now to a special guest with Kaylee Manziel. We'll see you on the other side.
I'm Kaylee Mansell, joined by Tim Eccles, the Public Service Commissioner. Tim, it was a little bit last minute, but I'm excited to hear what you have to say. What is your relationship with the building trades?
We regulate Georgia Power and their power plants, and IBEW and a number of our other unions have significant presence at Plant Bowen, Plant Vogel, and others. It's an important part of not only our energy resiliency, but it's an important part of labor in Georgia.
And speaking of Plant Bowen, I understand there's a lot of energy exchange going on, especially in the North Atlanta area. So why was it so important to keep Plant Bowen open?
You know, the growth in Georgia is happening north of I-20, and this plant's in Cartersville. It's a plant that powers a lot of North Georgia, and we needed to keep it open. And it's a plant that IBEW has a strong presence at. And so from labor's perspective, there was a lot of work that needed to be done. And so keeping the plant open meant that we could keep those guys on the ground there.
You know, Tim, growing up in Cartersville, I actually lived right by Plant Bowen. I would drive by it every single day. Why is it so important to the community? Well,
the school board budget gets about a third of their money from that plant. So you've got that going on, helping to keep the school budget afloat, and then you've got our labor there. And then when you combine the resiliency of keeping North Georgia powered, especially given that we're going to have a lot of EVs coming around with Rivian and others, it's a threefer. It's just such an important part of our grid.
Well, Tim, North Georgia is certainly in debt to you. Thank you for keeping Plant Bowen alive. I know my Cartersville natives are super happy about it. So thank you very much, and we will be right back after the break.
I just enjoy working with my hands. I've always enjoyed doing mechanical work, and it's nice to be able to build something and look back at it, and know you've done a quality job on it.
At the end of the project, you're able to see what you have put in as far as the jobs are concerned. We know what's being put in the right way the first time.
And through the apprenticeship, you get the training to do a quality job.
Today's enterprises are migrating to the cloud to keep pace with the adoption of digital transformation. In this enterprise of the future, DevSecOps will drive organizations to innovate, accelerate, and automate. Oracy provides expertise in automation, integration, and security tools, reducing waste and driving speed to profitability. With our world-class partnerships, we bring the right mix of people, process, and technology to your DevSecOps journey, from start to finish. Oracy.
Sweetheart, please don't forget to wear your seatbelt.
I got it, Mom.
It's a very nice day, living in the right space. Breathing your grace, got me feeling some kind of way.
In the blink of an eye, so many tomorrows can disappear. Buckle up for your future, every trip, every time. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Remember as a kid, if you could dream it, you could do it? Well, you still can. Now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event. And with great offers on select Ford vehicles, just move on. You'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So when the sun goes down, you'll just be getting started. Now get 2.9% financing for 72 months on a 2022 Ford F-150, only at your local Ford dealer.
Welcome back to the Tailgate Show, presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. I'm Kaylee Mansell, joined by First Lieutenant Nicholas Mashenko. For a recent high school graduate, what careers and jobs are available?
So the Army has over 150 jobs available. So the best way for these students to find out what's available for them is to meet with one of our recruiters, come in, take the tests, and see what they qualify for.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you send recruiters out to a huge area up here in North Georgia. So what does the recruiting process look like when they go to these schools?
So part of it is just making contact with these students first, making an appointment so we can get them to come in for an interview, and that way we can qualify you or see if you're qualified to join the Army, and then move forward with the process of you going down, taking the test, seeing if you're medically qualified, and then selecting a job.
Well, earlier we talked about some of the career opportunities for recent high school graduates, but for those who aren't sure what it is they want to do, I know that there's a career match program. Walk me through what that process looks like and how does it match them with what they'll eventually do?
So the benefit to that would be, you're going to pick your job and see what's available to you, and then being able to align that to civilian jobs and see how it translates and then transfers to the civilian side. And then, of course, sorry to cut you off.
No.
The other benefit is that as you progress in the Army, you also get those leadership skills. So being able to move up, be a team leader or a manager. on the civilian side.
Well, for those watching at home, how can they find out more?
So the best way for all of you to find out more is to go to goarmy.com and put in your information, and then one of my recruiters will reach out to you. And then also, we're going to be here for the rest of the night, so we're posted up front, and you can come meet with us and get some more information.
Well, First Lieutenant Mishenko, I appreciate your time, but we will be right back after the break.
Hurry into Mattress Firm and shop Tempur-Pedic's best sale of the year. Right now, you can save up to $700 plus get a $300 instant gift with mattresses and bases in stock for fast delivery. Only at Mattress Firm, America's #1 Tempur-Pedic retailer.
Meet Leon the Third, Leon the Second, and Leon the First of them all. 3 generations who all bank differently with Chase. Leon's saving up for his first set of wheels. Nice try.
Really?
This Leon's paying for his paint job on the spot. And this Leon, as a Chase private client, he's in the south of France taking out cash with no ATM fees. That's because this family of Leons has Chase.
Actually, it's Leon.
Ooh la la. One bank for now, for later, for life. Chase, make more of what's yours.
I'm attorney Ken Nugent. If you're hurt and trying to choose a law firm, here are some questions you need to ask. Can I sign up online? You can with us. Do they have their own app that allows me to handle all aspects of my case from home? We do. Have they developed artificial intelligence to maximize the value of every case? We have. So when you see those lawyer ads making promises, remember, there's only one call, that's all.
Call 1-800-CALL-KEN.
Where are you meant to be? Leading teams here? Taking paid time off here? Letting your skills shine here? Or here? Or here? Wherever you're meant to be, 110 helps you get there. Based on your skills, we match talented Black job seekers with high-paying careers that don't require college degrees, helping you land the salary, benefits, and work-life balance you deserve. Empower your career with 110 and get to where you're meant to be.
Hurry into Mattress Firm's best Labor Day sale ever. Get a king bed for the price of a queen or a queen for a twin, and save up to $700 on top brands like Serta and Beautyrest. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying purchase. Only at Mattress Firm.
Welcome back to the Tailgate Show presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. I am Kaylee Mansell, joined by Kelsey Bassett from the Technical College System of Georgia and Amy Eberly with the Coca-Cola Bottling Company United. So excited to have you ladies on the show. Can you tell me just a little bit more about your companies?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Kaylee. I'm with the Technical College System of Georgia, TCSG. We are the 2-year public higher education institutions for the state. We have 22 technical colleges all around the state, 88 campuses, 600 programs. I know we're going to talk some more about it, but just really excited to be here, so thank you.
Yes, we definitely are also excited to be here as well, and excited to be a part of the Corky Kell Classic. We definitely think our brands go hand in hand with football, for sure. But we're with Coca-Cola Bottling Company United. We call ourselves United. We've been in business in this state since 1916. We're actually the only bottler in the state, which means that anytime you've been in a grocery store and seen anyone working on our displays or down the beverage aisle, that's us. That's Coca-Cola United. And we're also proud to be servicing the state where our global headquarters, the Coca-Cola Company, is located in. Between the two of us, we have over 30 facilities throughout the state. We employ over 9,000 Georgia residents. We also supply beverages to over 41,000 Georgia businesses, which then offer our refreshing beverages to the 10.5 million residents here in the state.
Well, we have heard the awesome news about the recent investment from Coca-Cola into the Technical College System of Georgia. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yes, absolutely. So recently, the Coca-Cola Company announced a contribution of $1 million to the Technical College System of Georgia, and a big part of that contribution is going to go to the CDL program. We know firsthand the critical need for CDL drivers here throughout the state, for sure. Matter of fact, 82% of the total tonnage, like the freight that's moving on the Georgia roads, is done by commercial vehicles. So this donation will also, TCSG identified some critical needs, some things that they need. So this donation will help support the hiring of 11 new CDL instructors full-time, as well as 2 part-time instructors as well. They'll also be able to utilize it for some scholarship opportunities and recruiting efforts and marketing events as well. But we've been partnering with TCSG for several years now, so we're super excited to continue the tradition with this donation as well.
What about you, Kelsey?
We are so grateful and so excited about this partnership. Our CDL program is so exemplary, and we are so proud to be providing the workforce for Coca-Cola. So just thank you so much for the contribution, and we're so excited about it.
Now, Kelsey, what is the outlook for a graduate of one of the commercial driving programs for the Technical College System of Georgia?
Yeah, so we actually have a 91% placement rate, meaning that our graduates, 91% of them are going into those careers right out of graduation. So we're very proud of that. All of our students have great success stories, and very excited to be partnering with Coca-Cola on this new initiative.
Now, Amy, I have to know, is United hiring at the moment?
Absolutely. Just in the state of Georgia alone, we have just over 400 career opportunities, and approximately 107 of those require the CDL certification. So we definitely know, the value of supporting that as well. But yes, so if anybody that's listening wants to go ahead and check out our career opportunities on Coca-ColaUnited.com, we'd greatly appreciate it and love for you to come join our family.
Now, ladies, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for the merch. Can't wait to wear my Coke shirt around campus. But with that being said, we will be right back after the break.
The GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com Corky Kell Classic.
Welcome upstairs. Thank you, Kaylee. Matt Stewart along with Jeff Sintel. And we've got game number 2 on day number 2 of the Corky Kell as the Archer Tigers take on the West Forsyth Wolverines Stadium in Cumming, Georgia. And Archer, a team replacing their head coach, Andy Dyer, the only coach they ever had, retired after 13 seasons. Dante Williams comes in from state champion. Collins Hill takes over the program. West Forsyth quarterfinals in 2020. Disappointing 5-6 last year, looking to bounce back from that.
Yeah, this is one. We just saw a great football game. We got storylines to start this one off. Dante Williams, think about this. First game as a high school football coach. You're in 7A at a place like Archer. You're in the Corky Kell Classic. Quite a debut, and folks, he earned it. He was the offensive coordinator at Grayson in 2016 and Collins Hill offensive coordinator in 2021. 2 of the best teams of the last 20 years in the state of Georgia.
Archer has 4 returning starters on the offensive line. One of them is Sam Rabuka. He is kind of their alpha male on this team. He plays both ways on the line of scrimmage.
So I tweeted this picture out. You want to talk about a war daddy. Look at Sam, double nickel right there. He's got that helmet that looks like it's been varnished and it's went through the briar patch. And he's an offensive lineman and a defensive nose guard. Both ways in 7A, Ironman football. That guy is the heartbeat of his football team.
And Peyton Strecco is back for West Forsyth. Their top rusher a year ago suffered an ankle injury, and he is back and ready to go. That was a big reason why they slipped to 5-6 a year ago. He played only half the season.
This guy, what can you say about him? We'll get into his story a little bit later, but last year, 4.5 games. He had 659 yards and 12 touchdowns in 4.5 games. Currently committed to the Air Force Academy.
So here we go, Archer and West Forsyth. West Forsyth in the blue and kicking off. And we are underway as the ball comes down at the 9-yard line.
Wow.
And a big return right off the bat by Drew Dixon up to the 40-yard line, and that's where the Tigers are going to go on offense. And a lot of new personnel, not just a new head coach and Dante Williams, as you take another look at the return here by Drew Dixon, but also, Jeff, a new quarterback is going to be bringing them out, Justin Johnson, a transfer from Central Gwinnett, who just this past Sunday committed to the Army.
You want to talk about a veteran 7A football player. Played a lot of 7A ball in Gwinnett County. This young man's a winner. Committed to Army. He's going to be a quarterback there, run the wing tee. Let's watch this dual threat work tonight.
And that's Chad Alexander, number 2, lined up next to him, their leading rusher. He's got 14 offers. And Justin Johnson on the first carry of the ball game gets stonewalled right there at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they call him Justo. Great leader, great dual threat, can make things happen, can throw off platform. And you mentioned Chad Alexander, about 600, 700 yards a year ago, 14 offers. Most of those are in the Ivy League. His dad played running back in college for Central Michigan.
There's a look at the starting lineups for the Archer Tigers on offense, presented by Georgia's Rome Office of Tourism. And Johnson, on his second consecutive carry, stopped after about a 5-yard gain. That was Carson Taylor, the defensive end, one of 3 brand new defensive linemen for the Wolverines this season.
Yeah, one of the things West is going to be concerned about is up front. They love their back 7. But up front, a lot of new faces. Both sides of the ball for West are getting remodeled.
So they actually spot the ball at the 42, and we'll have movement. Was it on Archer or was it on West Forsyth?
Encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So the 3rd down and 8 just became a 3rd down and 3. Tommy Toms, our white cap, the referee here, and a look at the rest of the game officials presented by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
One of the things Dante Williams, bright new young coach in the state of Georgia, is he wants to keep his scheme simple. He wants to play fast and let his athletes take over. Not going to be a lot of schematics here. He's just going to make a play and let his athletes go about the business.
Lifelong dream to be a head coach, but he's been the OC at 2 state champions in the last 6 years. Johnson gets dropped for a loss, and it's going to be 4th down.
Yeah.
And that was Carson Taylor again, second tackle he has on this opening defensive series for West Forsyth.
So we've gushed a lot about what Archer brings to the table. Let's talk about what Coach Svehla and West Forsyth have. He thinks he's got the best linebacker he's ever had there in Riley Herbert. That guy's physical, is committed to Furman. And then right next to him there is Riley McKee, 5'10", 215. Great interior inside backers for West Forsyth.
So Archer to punt here from the 43-yard line. And Justin Johnson's going to handle the punting here. Miles Hamby listed as the kicker and the punter, but Johnson's going to be the one doing the punting. And he booms it out of there. Not a bad kick. Coming down at the 33. And Ryder Stewart, about a 3-yard gain, and that's where West Forsyth is going to go on offense for the first time tonight. And they have a brand new quarterback as well. Keegan Stover transferred out, went to Rabun County to take over after Gunnar Stockton signed with Georgia. And Jack Tomlinson making his first ever varsity start here tonight.
First of all, how about that punt there? You can deal with that all the time. Justin Johnson, great Army commitment right there, recent Army commitment right there. And we're going to see what West looks like on offense. Peyton Strako.
Dave Svehla, their head coach. And Streko going to get the first carry of the game, and Streko gets stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Streko, I mean, we got to start talking about him, man. He had 7.6 yards per carry, was just blazing through his junior year, transferred from Forsyth Central. And then week 5, he has a tough ankle injury. He has the balloon surgery to repair it. Wasn't able to come back.
That was Kendall Lee, the Will linebacker, making the stop. He's one of the juniors that Coach Dante Williams singled out as guys that have stepped up here in the offseason. So 2nd down and 10 coming up. And the ball goes to Streko. Streko follows his blocks, and that's a 1st down for West Forsyth.
So Streko, the other part of that story is he hurts his right ankle in his junior year. Then on the 2nd day of spring practice this spring, he hurts his left ankle. Same injury. He doesn't have surgery. He rehabs it, and that's why he's raring and hard charging to go tonight, ready to get back on the field.
We saw Colin Miller for North Forsyth committed to Air Force in our opening game, and Peyton, of course, also committed to Air Force over the summer.
Yeah, Streko, he wants to be a Air Force pilot. He wants to be a Top Gun Maverick type guy. You can see the hot rod running back doing that, right?
Yeah, I like the movie too.
Yeah.
1st and 10, ball is at the 43. Real life's a little bit more serious business. Streko being chased, gets by the defensive lineman across the 40 and down to the 33, 32-yard line. You can see what a difference maker Peyton Streko is for this Wolverines offense.
Yeah, you see right away how he can have 12 touchdowns in about 4.5 games against the 7A defense right here, doing some good work already against Archer. Just really good acceleration, really good burst right out.
So 1st and 10, Wolverines on the move. Good opening drive for West Forsyth. 2-0 all time in the Corky Kell Classic. Beat Carver Atlanta in this event last year. Remember, Carver Atlanta got to the 3A state championship game. Strecco right up the middle.
Brilliant cut right there.
Inside the 15. Strecco down inside the 5.
Highly entertaining watching this man run the football.
He's been anxious to get back out there, you can tell. Look at him weave his way through the hole. Nicely done. Stopped at the 4. Just great body control to find the gap in the defense. And now West Forsyth in the red zone, presented by Northside Hospital. First and goal to go. They spot the ball actually at the 5. They're going to throw a pass if they can, and incomplete. Now you're looking for a familiar name. That's Delp, just not Oscar. It's his little brother Henry.
Henry is about 6'3". He's a junior, 2024 guy. Got some speed. He had an 80-yard touchdown in the scrimmage game last week.
Starting lineups presented by Georgia's Rome Office of Tourism. Probably the smallest offensive line that Dave Svehla has coached in his 23 years in business.
Yeah, he was certainly concerned about that. He said it's not that bad. It's not like the end of the world, but he just used to having bigger guys up front. And you got to think that 22 is going to get his number called here in the red zone as well.
Had the number 2 offensive guard in the country a couple of years ago, Dylan Fairchild, who's now at Georgia. Handoff Strecco right up the middle.
Oh,
ball out. That is a free ball. It's covered by Archer. That's going to be a touchback.
Wow.
Trying to stretch for the end zone, and the ball popped out. Nisi Makulu recovered in the end zone.
What are they calling right here?
Let's see. Is the knee... he's not down.
No.
And the ball is out.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a touchback.
That's an Archer ball.
You see, the knee doesn't touch the ground because he's being pulled down from behind. And while he is on top of the defender, Kendall Lee, the ball is out, and Archer will have it at the 20 when we get back.
Dang, where you get this car?
You need to join the union.
The union?
Absolutely. You can get 10 of these.
Union construction workers earn the highest wages with the best benefits and the most protection in the construction industry. Find your career in construction. Go to GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com and start your future today.
For a healthier future together, look to Northside Hospital.
The Mechanical Trades Institute is an opportunity towards personal financial freedom through hands-on and rewarding work. Our school is completely free and gives apprentices the knowledge and skills required to gain access to a lifelong career path. Apprentices learn pipe fitting, plumbing, mechanical service, and welding. They earn money as they learn and graduate with no student debt. Start a career with the Mechanical Trades Institute and change your financial future.
Thinking about what to do after high school? How about jumping directly into your future? The 22 colleges of the Technical College System of Georgia offer more than 600 programs to prepare students for the real world. From business to healthcare to professional and technical services, our graduates go straight into a career. And tuition, surprisingly affordable. At TCSG, you will succeed sooner. Apply today at succeedsooner.com.
The Corky Kell Classic is presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Transform your future today.
Back at Wolverines Stadium on the campus of West Forsyth High School in Cumming, Georgia. Day 2 of the GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com Corky Kell Classic. Our first game today was the best game of the first 3, no doubt about it, and a 31-27 come from behind victory for North Atlanta. over North Forsyth. We can only hope that this one is just as good. Started out, though, Jeff, with a lot of fireworks.
Certainly did. You had, Strico making plays, and you had everything going. You got the Army commitment working, you got the Air Force commitment working, you got a young man right there that I think just tried to do a little bit too much there on that last series.
Absolutely. It wasn't fourth down. It wasn't third down. It wasn't fourth down. I mean, just get the ball down on the ground. You're going to have it third down and goal from the 1 if you just go down there. Don't have to stretch for the end zone. Just trying to make something happen in the first game of his senior season. Justin Johnson with a pocket up top and incomplete. I believe the target was Emmanuel McCray, although the ball wasn't really close to anybody.
Didn't look like they were on the same page on that one. But right away, you see a little bit of Dante Williams' offense. He's got guys out in space. He's got speed. He's taking some shots.
He was the OC in 2016 when Grace and Jeff Herron, maybe the most talented state championship team we've ever had, or maybe the 2020 Grayson team. I mean, they've had so many great ones, but 2016 was stacked. They won the state title. He was the OC. Then he was the OC last year with Travis Hunter and Sam Horn in Collins Hill. Running a screenplay that's complete to Alexander. He's not going to go anywhere. Fourth down.
Alexander, we had 14 offers, 56 carries, 421 yards, 9 touchdowns a year ago, but West Forsyth smelled that one out.
And look who was coming on the pressure there. That was Strecco in there on defense. So they got Strecco going both ways here. That was 22 bringing the pressure on the quarterback. Unless my eyes were deceiving me. Fourth down. It wasn't. I'm just delirious from calling so much football.
Yeah, you're just still in the aftermath of that great game with North Atlanta and North Forsyth. They're going to get set up really well here.
Ryder Stewart makes a man miss, and Stewart going to be downed inside the 40-yard line, going to spot it at the 38.
Yeah, really interesting right there. Ryder Stewart, good time to talk about him. Probably the best overall football player on their team. 5'8", 160. He's their free safety. He started at running back in the playoffs as a freshman. That's how much they appreciate his skill set and what he brings to the table.
Backup running back to Strecco, too. So 1st and 10, ball at the 38. And that is definitely number 22 back there at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, look for that towel and the mud flaps is what it basically looks like.
Going to get the ball again. Strecco spin move, great balance, lunges forward, 6 or 7 on that play.
So the thing with Strecco, and I'm going to use the word curious for this one, Matt. He's committed to Air Force, but he has a bonkers senior season. And before that injury a year ago, Matt, you saw Georgia Tech was interested, maybe bigger schools were interested. He even told me this week that Dell McGee at Georgia actually reached out and told him Georgia had him on his radar as well. That's the type of skill set that Strecco has.
5'10", 195, looks a lot firmer than that, doesn't he?
He's put on 20 pounds since the guy that ran for all those yards in 4.5 games last year.
Again, Strecco up the middle, right into the teeth of that Archer defense. Jordan Griffin, 6', 230 junior D tackle making the stop. Got a lot of new players in the 2 deep for Archer this year. A lot of personnel changes. A lot of the players played for Andy in his final year, graduated out of the program. And their starting quarterback went to North Oconee. Opened the door. Justin Johnson actually transferred in from Central Gwinnett before Dante Williams got the job.
That's right. Interesting story there. One of the things they're doing is they're just trying to open things up a little bit at Archer now.
3rd down and 7. Tomlinson delivers a strike for a 1st down.
That's one of the things I asked Strecco, what is he most looking forward to? And he says it's Tomlinson. He's waited his turn. He's been ready for this, and it's his turn to make some plays for West Forsyth.
Will Fulkerson, 5'10", 145 senior making the catch. They're brand new in their wide receiver core. They don't have a lot of returning experience there.
That's a pretty good ball, seeing it right there, though.
Yeah, Tomlinson, 0 varsity snaps before tonight. Coach Svehla was a little bit concerned about that the first varsity snap's going to come in a big environment like this and on television, but he's looked good so far. A lot of it's been turning around and handing the ball off. That's Stewart now in the ball game. Tomlinson being chased, throwing on the run, delivers to Delp. Looks like his big brother running down the sideline.
I bet his big brother's watching somewhere, whether he's at right now.
I mean, he looked just like Oscar a couple of years ago on this very same stage in the Corky Kell.
One of the things Oscar's always been about is he's told us, he said, watch out for my brother, my younger brother, Henry. That's that guy that made the play right there, but also another younger brother, Delp, given the credit of the best athlete in the family.
Wolverines in the red zone, presented by Northside Hospital. Second time they've been down here, trying to get their first point still. And Strecco dives forward. Just a couple of yards right there. Just got to protect the football when you're down this close. Well, where you're anywhere on the field, but especially down this close.
Yeah, this is a chance where we get to see what Dante Williams is building with his Archer program. He talks about punctuality, discipline, be tough, and I'll do everything right in the classroom. Those are his core values right now for year one at Archer.
7 carries, 61 yards already for Strecco here in the first quarter. Tomlinson to the corner. Jump ball caught by Delp for a touchdown.
That's a great start there, Henry Delp. There's Delp wanted in the end zone right there, give him 6 points. And West Forsyth fans are pretty used to cheering at Delp after a touchdown catch in the red zone.
Yeah, and the reports coming out of preseason practice for the national champions are you're going to see some of that from Delp. Big Oscar doing a lot of good things. Did it in the spring game and doing it here in preseason practice. And Henry doing it in his first varsity start as West Forsyth has a 7-0 lead.
That Delp family might be awfully proud. Might see their boys combine for multiple touchdowns every weekend on Friday nights and Saturday nights.
Jack Tomlinson, first varsity start. Touchdown pass to Henry Delp in his first varsity start.
Back again, huh? You must love losing.
You're buying the next one.
You gotta win one first.
Okay.
Mix and match your 2 favorites for $3.29 at any size soft drink for $1. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm attorney Bill Atkins. If you or a loved one was a victim of sexual abuse by a faith leader within a church, call us now. Our firm has successfully represented victims of sexual abuse and held institutions accountable for failing to protect their members. Faith leaders who prey on people seeking spiritual guidance must be held accountable. Call us today at 404-525-1080. Edmund, Lindsay, and Atkins. When I'm sorry is not enough.
Remember as a kid, if you could dream it, you could do it? Well, you still can. Now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event. And with great offers on select Ford vehicles, you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So when the sun goes down, you'll just be getting started.
Now lock in 2.9% for 60 months on a 2023 Bronco Sport and Explorer, only at your local Ford dealer.
Back again, huh? You must love losing.
You're buying the next one.
You gotta win one first.
Okay.
Mix and match your 2 favorites for $3.29 at any size soft drink for $1. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Back at West Forsyth, the Wolverines on top first, 7-0. They've had 2 great scoring opportunities, cashed in on one of them. They have the early touchdown lead to start this 2022 season. Henry Delp with the touchdown catch.
You know, one of the things that we get talking about Delp already is that, you know, one thing Coach Svehla said is, you know, I just want to coach you to be the best Henry Delp you can be. I don't care who you're related to. We're just going to coach you to be the best Henry. He's 6'3", wants him to just be Henry. The young man does already run very well.
Nico Nunez with the kickoff, going to angle it to the far side. It's fielded by McRae and then dropped. He falls on top of it at the 27-yard line.
Probably got to be fair and balanced and say, you know, the Delp family, one of the things they do is they multi-sport athletes. They play lacrosse. Henry Delp also a lacrosse player as well. So if you want to be a tight end, maybe you should learn how to play lacrosse as well.
Scoring summary presented by Breda Pest Management. 6 plays, 38 yards. Delp the 8-yard catch from Tomlinson. And not a great showing by the push-up man over there on the sideline.
Don't know if we can call him a man yet, sir.
Well, I don't want to offend anybody. Ball at the 27. Johnson throws over here, nothing doing. They've smothered it. They have been strong on defense out the gate here tonight.
Very much so. West Forsyth playing with a lot of swagger on defense. Again, going to say it over and over. Not sure about their front three, not sure about their front, but they love their back end. Backers, secondary, perimeter guys are playing well so far.
That's Gray Brockman on the tackle. Third-year starter, been starting since his freshman year. Pass is going to be caught on his back. Wow. What a catch.
Go ahead and write that up as a catch of the day, right?
That's William Wallace with a Sports Center Top 10 nominee. He's rolling around on his back, and the ball falls in his belly. What a catch by William Wallace. Not the great Scott who led the rebellion, but the Tigers wide receiver.
Now here comes the dual threat legs we kept hearing about with Justin Johnson.
Johnson rushed for 1,000 yards in his 3 seasons at Central Gwinnett. Let's take you back to that pass. Watch this. He falls down and still catches it.
He didn't yell out freedom when he caught that one.
Paint his face blue.
Paint his face blue. William Wallace. Love some alliteration from your playmaking wide receiver.
And we have a penalty backing up Archer right here. Okay. Never did get the call. Was that a legal shift? Although, I mean, it can't be. It backed him up all the way to the 29-yard line. I missed that call. And here is Chad Alexander. A couple of yards on the play. He gets dropped by William Orris, their star backer.
So one of the things we're going to try to do is we're going to talk about recruits, we're talk about the game, we're going to talk about stories. One of the things that Dante Williams said struck him as odd or unique is the amount of AP students he has at Archer. Yep. Hard to get weight training classes and the right players in the right periods because everybody's got those AP classes.
Including Kumi Ibrahim, their left tackle, number 60.
Can't wait for you to say it's a full name on the air tonight, Matt.
Got to gear up for that.
Get your weight.
Chad Alexander stutter steps, picks up the first down.
Got some quick feet there. Look at him. He's like Strako's not the only factor back here in this game. That's what he's saying right now with that play.
You mentioned the Ivy League offers for Alexander. He's also got offers from Army, Navy, Air Force, Harvard, and Western Kentucky. The Hilltoppers getting in there. Alexander, best athlete on the team. Limited touches last year, was hurt a portion of his junior season.
Look at
Justin Johnson, quick drop. Now goes and picks up a couple on the play.
Interesting young man to talk to, Chad Alexander. The fellas on the team said his real name's actually Chadwick, something very regal and businesslike. He wants to own his own business one day, and I guess if he goes to the Ivy League, gets that Ivy degree, that'd be a great place to start.
Yeah, and you get that Ivy League. You're not talking about owning a coffee shop. We're talking about him owning a major corporation, right?
That's right. That's right.
He'll probably go back to the Chadwick when he gets to the Ivy League.
Yep, that's right.
4th and 6 right here. They're lined up to go for it at the 50-yard line.
There you go. That's all right. First big call of Dante
Could be a
Williams'
quick
career.
kick. It is.
It is. Not a bad. He can strike that ball pretty good. You'll take that every time.
Yeah, that's nice. It's inside the 20. And so with 3 seconds to play in the first quarter, West Forsyth backing up with their worst field position of the game so far. They're going to be going back on offense with a lot of momentum. You see the 27-31 final. North Atlanta beating North Forsyth earlier today right here on this field. Fabulous game.
Come back from 27 to 18 down with the backup quarterback in
Never
the game.
led until their final touchdown of the game, coming with, what, 2 minutes left? Less than 2 minutes left. Meantime, Wolverines back on offense. Strecko, a couple of yards on the play. And that is the final play of the first quarter. Pretty good first quarter for West Forsyth. Strecko's had a good one too. He's already rushed for 60 yards in this game, and Henry Delp has a touchdown catch Wolverines on top by a touchdown as we head to the second.
Becoming the #1 certified dealer in all of Georgia was no easy task. It required the highest quality of vehicles at the fairest prices, plus superb customer experiences. Now we've expanded our certified program to include every brand of vehicle. With Beaver Direct, it doesn't matter what brand you choose, they're all certified. Every vehicle will be thoroughly inspected and expertly reconditioned. Each includes a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty. Visit us at beaverdirect.com and see for yourself why Beaver Direct is #1.
What's it like having Xfinity Internet with supersonic Wi-Fi? It's fast, like beyond gig speed fast. With 3 times the bandwidth. And the power to connect hundreds of devices at once.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box, all for just $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile. Switch today.
Hurry into Mattress Firm's best Labor Day sale ever. Get a king bed for the price of a queen, or a queen for a twin, and save up to $700 on top brands like Serta and Beauty Rest. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying purchase. Shop the lowest prices of the season and save up to 60%, with Beauty Rest queen mattresses starting at $379.99 or Serta at $499.99. With our Love Your Mattress guarantee, get the lowest price and 120 nights to sleep on it, only at Mattress Firm.
Start of the second quarter, West Forsyth leading Archer 7-0. Listen up, high school football fans. The Atlanta Falcons and Ticketmaster have partnered together for an all-new high school football ticket program. For more information on how you can get a free ticket to see the Atlanta Falcons play, this is for high school football players now. Visit atlantafalcons.com/highschooltickets, or you can scan the QR code that you see on your screen right now. Matt Stewart, Jeff Sintel, game 2 of this doubleheader from West Forsyth High School. Game 4 overall out of 11 in our 4-day event. Our event goes to Barron Stadium and 3 games in Rome tomorrow with Brandon Adams and Rusty Mansell.
Be listening to those guys too. Very, very fine gentlemen calling some ball tomorrow.
Well, the fine gentleman part, if you say so. No, they're great guys.
Yeah, they are. They're fun to go out and eat with, that's for sure.
Second down and 5, but who pays? Y'all just split, or will someone pick it up?
If we're somewhere in Rome, I don't know if Rusty has to pay for a meal in Rome ever.
There you go. He's the mayor.
He is the mayor.
But I'm pretty sure you're going to Bojangles, right? So 3rd down and 1.
There you go.
Strecco gets the 1+.
Just gets through that hole so fast. Quick feet. And he's pacing for a 40-carry night right now.
Yeah, he's at 10 carries now, and that puts him up over 70, maybe close to 75 now.
I bet you didn't know I had mind reading as one of my talents right here. He's going, Coach, man, I saved all those carries in my junior year. I'm fine. Let's go. Let's get this hole.
I only played 4.5 games. I got time. I got to make up for lost time here.
Yeah, banked about 250 carries last year, man. Let's roll.
Actually, that could turn out to be a good thing for him in the future. Less wear and tear on those legs.
That's great.
So 1st and 10 from the 34. Tomlinson with the pocket. Heaves it out here, and Delp can't come up with it this time.
So that's first-year player. You're going to make a play, and then you're going to have to bounce back when something doesn't go right your way. I tell you what, the young quarterback from West Forsyth, throwing some darts, very decisive, getting the ball out. Another first-year starter here, waited his turn as a senior here at West.
So 2nd down and 10.
Tomlinson now 4 out of 6, 52 yards. That long was the 17-yarder to Delp.
Coach Svehla said he had a really good spring, summer, and preseason workout. So, like you said, he waited his chance to play, and he's cashing in and making the most of it here in his opening game.
Throwing on the run really well.
Got a man down there, a little bit short. Trying to get the ball to Bowen Orr, senior wide receiver. I mean, you look up and down there, wide receiver depth chart, just not a whole lot of production coming back.
So I will say one thing. One thing Coach Svehla said is you add up all our stars for all our receivers right now, we might have 4.5 stars. I think Henry Delp's probably earned about 2 stars or 3 stars already right now.
He's helping that number. Of course, Oscar was officially a 4-star and the number 3 rated tight end in the nation when he signed with the Bulldogs.
Of course, we wanted to get technical. Then Henry's actually a tight end right now in Svehla's offense. Yeah, actually the play caller as well.
Yeah, and this West Forsyth offense, I mean, the way they use Oscar now, the way they're using Henry, I mean, it might as well be a wide receiver.
Exactly.
Strecco again, that's his first pass catch. Pardon me, that's his second pass catch.
Second, yeah, he caught that screen for about 17 yards.
So he's approaching 100 yards of total offense already in this game. He's got 76 rushing, and he's right at, well, he's up to 25 now receiving.
So what you're saying is if anybody's out there playing high school fantasy football, Strecco would be a good pick?
He's a good pickup. He is a very good pickup. 4th down, they're punting. Ball coming down short at the 40, bouncing sideways, and Archer will take over at their own 34. So that's where the Tigers go back on offense. They're still trying to get in sync here. They haven't done a whole lot offensively so far. So they're going back out there in just a moment. When we come back, Tigers back on offense trying to get something going.
Atlanta Eats is back. That's awesome! That's perfection.
That's awesome.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's hang. Let's hang. Let's hang. Let's hang.
Don't miss Atlanta Eats at a special time, Saturday night at 10.
You coming?
Yeah, I'm coming. The Volkswagen Taos, German engineering everyone can get into. Visit your Volkswagen dealer today to learn more about the 2022 Taos, starting at $23,495. Limited inventory available.
Back again, huh? You must love losing.
You're buying the next one.
You gotta win one first.
Okay.
Mix and match your 2 favorites for $3.29 at any size soft drink for $1. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
The Rooms to Go Labor Day mattress sale is going on now. Time to sleep better and save big on this very special offer. Choose any size mattress from 2 great brands and pay one low price, just $595. That's twin, full, queen, even king size. Choose the Serta Perfect Sleeper or this Sealy Posturepedic mattress. Any size, one price, $595. Plus, check out all our other great mattress sale buys in store. Now during the Rooms to Go Labor Day mattress sale.
Your friends are still building sandcastles, but you've already booked a hot air balloon foliage tour. Bold move for some, another day in the fall for you. Fall hard with a $3 medium pumpkin cream cold brew. America runs on Dunkin'.
Early second quarter, West Forsyth on top of Archer 7-0 as the Tigers get ready to go back on offense. Matt Stewart along with Jeff Sintel, and so far, Jeff, Archer only 51 yards of offense in this game. 130 for West Forsyth, and of course the touchdown, which matters most. Empty backfield set for Justin Johnson. Got chased to the edge, and 3 guys hit him. And that's Raleigh Herbert. You were talking about him earlier. Herbert committed to Furman.
So folks out there, let's play a little interactive Peachtree TV. What I want you to do right now is get on your screens and look up the film for Raleigh Herbert, a huddle film right now. What you're going to see different is normally you look at linebacker film and every 10 plays there's a head knocker play. With Raleigh Herbert, it's almost 1 for 1. He's snapping heads back on every play on his highlight tape.
Pressure coming, quarterback sack on Justin Johnson. Riley McKee, the yin to Herbert's yang.
I like that.
Just dropped him dead.
And now you see why Coach Svehla says that's the best linebacker tandem he's ever had. You see their pictures on their senior portraits outside this stadium, and you think These are a couple of youth leaders. These are a couple of, like, you know, Sunday school teachers or something else like that. They do not play like that. Those are some flip switchers right there on Friday nights.
Yeah, Coach Svehla says if McKee was taller than the 5'10", Herbert 6'2", if he was more like Herbert, he'd have a lot more offers. Right now has none. He keeps telling college coaches who come in to scout the team, look, if you're looking for a football player, don't look at the size, look at who plays football.
71 tackles, 10.5 tackles for loss. He'll actually long snap as well. That's a pretty good ball right
Wow,
there.
Nice catch inside the 35-yard line. Full extension, William Wallace. Second catch of the game.
Yeah. Everybody watching at home, every time. Fill in your own Braveheart pun every time William Wallace makes a play.
Ball at the 31, 1st and 10. Quick fire out there, setting up a screen. Ball is out, and scoop opportunity for the Wolverines, and Herbert or McKee got on top of it. I don't know who has it just yet. So they still haven't sorted it out here. And the officials, are they going to rule that an incompletion or a fumble? Looked like a fumble from my perspective.
Three this way. After the play, personal foul on the defense. 15 yards from the recovery, first down.
So it is the Wolverines' ball, just 15 yards from where they recovered it. So take another look at it right here. Clearly a catch and fumble. And somewhere in the mix here, as they were battling for the fumble, a personal foul is going to be called on the Wolverines. But they have the ball, and that's the big thing. So possession to West Forsyth. They'll have it on offense when we get back.
Remember as a kid, if you could dream it, you could do it? Well, you still can. Now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event. And with great offers on select Ford vehicles, you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So when the sun goes down, you'll just be getting started.
Now get 2.9% financing for 72 months on a 2022 Ford F-150, only at your local Ford dealer.
The Georgia Sheet Metal JETC equips apprentices with the knowledge and skills required to start a rewarding career in the sheet metal industry with programs in HVAC, industrial welding, and testing, adjusting, and balancing. Training is 100% free and allows apprentices to earn as they learn. Journeymen graduate with no student debt and have the potential to earn more than most college graduates. Visit our website to learn more about this opportunity at careersinsheetmetal.com.
Today's enterprises are migrating to the cloud to keep pace with the adoption of digital transformation. In this enterprise of the future, DevSecOps will drive organizations to innovate, accelerate, and automate. Oracy provides expertise in automation, integration, and security tools, reducing waste and driving speed to profitability. With our world-class partnerships, we bring the right mix of people, process, and technology to your DevSecOps journey, from start to finish. Oracy.
I need to try it first.
The GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com Corky Kell Classic is sponsored by Sports Turf. You bring the vision, we'll bring it to life. Zaxby's, indescribably good chicken fingers and wings. The Technical College System of Georgia. Meaningful careers start here. Smart Local 85. Get your sheet together. And by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 613, Atlanta's Electricians.
Putting him on the carpet.
West Forsyth going back on offense as they take possession after the fumble recovery. Strecco is not out there with them. He is over on the sideline. You see an army of trainers around him trying to see what the deal is. We'll try to get an a report on his medical condition. Meantime, Ryder Stewart in there at running back, and Stewart takes the screen and picks up about 5 yards on the play to the 25.
Got Stewart in there. That's his backup. That was an indicator that you've got trainers working on Strecco. You've got the card out there right now. Let's hope everything is all right with that young man.
Yeah, it's never good when you see the player have to get on the golf cart.
Nope. Such a fighter, this guy. I love that story he told me. Ankle injury robs him of his junior year. Same injury, different ankle in spring practice. Comes back, gets cleared right after the dead week in July, and you want to see more out of it than him, especially hard as he's worked.
He's already had a game's worth of highlights here in the first half. Close to 100 yards of offense. Stewart gets wrapped up and chased down in the open field by Donovan Chambliss. Chambliss, the 5'9", 165 junior free safety, making the textbook tackle right there. Grab those legs, slide right down to the ankles. They're not going anywhere.
Watching West Forsyth work so far in this game, one of the things that Coach Svehla said is he's been coaching 23, 24 years. He didn't really know what he had. His wife asked, "What's up?" He's like, "I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to play some ball. We're going to watch the tape. We're going to get better."
3rd down and 4. So pass is complete, and that is another catch. Did they rule it a catch? They're going to rule it incomplete. Official comes in from the backside and said it was incomplete on the attempt to Will Fulkerson. Injury report presented by Northside Hospital. Unfortunately, word from the bench is that Strecco has a concussion and he will not return. Tough news for Peyton Strecco. Tough news for the Wolverines. He had a fabulous first half. I just hope he can get past the concussion, get back to playing soon. Punt coming down at the 44, takes a big bounce and rolls another 10 yards and dead at the 34, and that's where Archer goes back on offense. You can kind of feel, maybe I'm imagining, kind of feel like the air is let out of the balloon with Strecco not in the ball game, and he won't be coming back tonight. Archer goes back on offense.
Are you the one others rally around? Inspire soldiers to follow your lead. Want to forge a better future? Start with the structures that support tomorrow's missions. You believe the best offense is a good defense. We've got a great way to prove that theory. Explore more than 200 careers at GoArmy.com.
Sweetheart, please don't forget to wear your seatbelt. I got it, Mom.
It's a really nice day, living in the right space. Breathing your grace, got me feeling some kind of way.
In the blink of an eye, so many tomorrows can disappear. Buckle up for your future, every trip, every time. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Beginning the morning you opened your eyes, we spent every waking moment preparing you for the day you'd leave our nest. Whether it's driving to practice or helping with homework, it's all prepared you for, what am I going to be when I grow up? Will you be ready?
After much thought, I made my decision to take my talents to the IBEW Local 613.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers is not simply a job, it's a career. Visit IBEW613.org to begin a new future today.
Planting season is here, and it's time to get your yard looking its best. So treat your yard to the perfect touch from the professionals at Personal Touch Lawn Care. Mowing, maintenance, design, and construction. Personal Touch Lawn Care does it all.
If my yard is taken care of, it's one thing off my list that I don't have to worry about.
Sign up now for monthly maintenance and get the 12th month free.
Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you.
Personal Touch Lawn Care, 770-908-1238 or online at ptlcatlanta.com.
Second quarter, 5:56 to play before halftime. West Forsyth 7-0 lead on Archer. Wolverines receiving some sobering news here as Peyton Strecco will not play the rest of the game. He's in concussion protocol. Dave Svehla's got some work to do as his defense has played very well so far against this Archer offense. That's kind of been the story with Strecco and the defense, but now they don't have Strecco. It's about the defense, and McKee making the tackle right there. Emmanuel McCray. Second down and 9 after a 1-yard gain. Justin Johnson, 7 of 8 passing, 67 yards, and 6 carries for 10. Threw for over 3,200 yards in his career at Central Gwinnett. He's the 25th varsity game he's already played in, starting his senior year.
Yeah. You want to know if they're ready for a moment like the Corky Kell. This young man's got a lot of football underneath his belt. And we're going to tell his story a little bit as the game unfolds. But people I talk to that know this young man say he is the most competitive dude they have ever met. He lives for moments like this. They call him a gym. And, folks, that's just the start of stuff to like hear about Justin Johnson.
Well, Coach Dante Williams said in the locker room he's like leading the team in weight training like he's been there 4 years and not just a couple of months. So he's already taken on a command of the team and a leadership of the team. It's third down now and 10. Johnson, heavy rush, gets away from it. There's going to be a hold on this. You saw the takedown by the tackle. The offensive lineman falling on top of the defensive lineman. I believe that's where the hold is going to be called. So it's going to be fourth down likely. Let's see, they might just decline the penalty here.
So now we see going on the track, that's Strecco leaving.
Holding, offense, penalty decline, fourth down.
So here's the hold. McKee's coming hard on the rush, and there's the takedown right there by Barry Richardson. So Johnson standing at his 17-yard line to punt. Again, Archer has not been able to get much offense going. A lot of that's had to do with this West Forsyth defense. Shanked off the side of his foot. Going to bounce out of bounds at the 49-yard line in great field position for West Forsyth as they're going to take over on offense near the 50-yard line.
Certainly when you look at West so far, a lot of gang tackling, a lot of pursuit to the ball, and you've got a very good contest shaping up right now.
Jeff, let's take a look at the 2022 Georgia Elite Classic Recruiting Report. It's presented by Ford.
Let's start here with Raleigh Herbert, committed to Furman right now, 6'2", 210. 23 years of coaching. Dave Svehla says that's the best linebacker I've ever coached. Size, speed, brains, physical, the entire package. Plays super fast. That is the guy you want on your football team. And he is, what they say, folks, a dog at linebacker.
First and 10 from the 49.
So much stuff about Raleigh Herbert. You forget. You got to get the stat line in there. 108 tackles. 11.5 tackles for losses, 2.5 sacks. You'll even see him come in on some heavy sets. Remember Colin?
Yep.
Remember Miller from that previous thing? You'll even see him and Riley McKee show up on some heavy sets for West Forsyth when they really need to pound the rock.
So here's a question for you. Not that we have seen any kind of impact yet, but with Strecco out of the game with a concussion, Stewart takes over as the running back and will get the bulk of the carries from here on out. How does that impact them on the defensive side where he's starting free safety?
I tell you what, they're kind of set up for it. Remember West, Coach Svehla was telling us they got a bunch of guys that have started for 3 or 4 years and they're too deep, but not the starter. And that's the guy that will just slide over and move up the depth chart. And
Ryder Stewart, that answers your question. Inside the 10 and touchdown.
Here you go, Ryder Stewart, 5'8", 160. Ran for 497 yards a year ago, 2 touchdowns, doing a pretty good Strecco impersonation right now.
How about that? Big run by Ryder Stewart with his buddy Peyton Strecco in the locker room. Stewart picks up the slack and some, races 50 yards for the touchdown, and a 13-0 lead for West Forsyth.
Even with a guy like Strecco on the team, Coach Svehla said that is our best pure football player on our roster. Again, when he was a freshman, folks, he started in the Georgia high school football playoffs at running back. So this moment, he's been there, done that in this moment.
Nico Nunez with the PAT and a 14-0 lead for the Wolverines. Let's take a look at the team resume for West Forsyth. It is presented by Smart Local 85. 5-6 a year ago, disappointing season. Lost to Mill Creek in the first round. But the Wolverines 2-0 here in the Corky Kell.
And he basically, Svehla said he had a brand new offensive line, brand new defensive line. And really, these are a lot of kids that he knew were getting their first real experience on Friday night. And so far, their first real experience looks like a fun one.
Well, the 5-6 came after they went 9-4 in 2020 and got to the quarterfinals. And challenging schedule both years. In 2020, they won the close games against Mill Creek and Cartersville and opponents like that. Last year, they didn't. Really wasn't pleased with the team's discipline either. Not major stuff, but stuff that Coach Svehla, kind of lets things slide, unlike he typically does.
Yeah.
Some accountability issues in the way they practice, the way some of the kids dressed when they showed up for practice, and said, we're just not going to do that. We're going to get back to what we do, get back to the way we have built this program, have some accountability in it. Pop-up kick coming down at the 35, fair catch is called for and made. And Archer now down 2 touchdowns with 3.5 to play here in the second quarter.
So this is a moment, I think, a good moment so far early in Dante Williams' time at Archer. I think he's prepared his football team for this. One thing they do every week is they call it Tough Practice Tuesday, where they have an academic highway Monday where if you don't have your grades right, you're not dressing out for the game on Friday night. But Tough Practice Tuesday, it ends with everybody in the cold tub, and they got a popsicle in their mouth in the cold tub after Tough Practice Tuesday. Here's a tough moment they've prepared for right now, trying to come back in this one.
So 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. You see McKee coming on a blitz. They pick that up. Justin Johnson going to get swallowed up right there at the line of scrimmage. Ryder Smith, the senior nose, blowing up the play.
So I got another word for right now. Suffocating. That's what this West defense is doing. Justin Johnson got some wiggle, can make some plays and run around, but there's just no room. These backers, these corners, these safeties are flying to the ball right now.
Now, we mentioned Archer, a lot of new personnel, but not offensive line. They got 4 starters back from last year's offensive line. Right now, they're getting whipped up front by West Forsyth. Second down and 13. Rush is coming, dump it off for Alexander. Alexander up to the 47, picks up the first down.
There you go. Big play right there for Archer. They needed that. They get the ball in their playmakers' hands. One of the things that Svehla was worried about was how much they're going to get the ball. He actually thought that Archer was going to come in and just run the ball right at him, have a lot of fun with it. And Chad Alexander, you see getting a highlight right now here in his senior year.
That's just the 4th first down for Archer in this game. Comes with 2.5 minutes to play here in the first half. Alexander hasn't been able to shake loose yet. 1 carry for 4 yards. Johnson, quick slant pass complete. And that's Wallace again, all the way down inside the 25 to the 24. So William Wallace with his 3rd catch.
You can just see a lot of these spots, man. Well-coached team, making plays, the execution right there, bang, bang play. William Wallace, and I'm going to be looking for number 13 on the field pretty soon right here.
Handoff. Alexander trying to get around the edge, coming to the near side, gets shoved out of bounds at the 18-yard line by Brady Gillis. second-year starter, plays that claw position for the Wolverines.
So, guys, if you're just joining us for the nightcap, Matt, I got to say, this game is starting to feel a little bit like that first one. You know, one team not playing well, misfiring, but just kind of hanging in there, and then finally putting some plays together and making a drive.
2nd down and 4. Play clock at 5. Johnson looks one way, now goes to the left, to the wide side of the field. Lowers his helmet, gonna be a little bit short of the 3rd down on that run right there. Third and 1. McRae, man, he got shot down by Herbert right there. It's one of those snapback tackles right there that you were talking about earlier, Jeff.
That's right. He's going to have some fresh stuff for that 2022 highlight tape.
So now it's 4th down. Archer, no kicking team out there. Looks like they're going for it.
And, you know, the other thing is these two linebackers, there's Raleigh and Riley. The Raleigh and Riley show. We got to work on. We got to workshop a nickname for them through the course of this broadcast.
They could maybe get an NIL deal if they can get at the same school.
Raleigh and Riley.
So timeout is going to be called right here as the clock winds down to 1:07. Time now to take a look. Team resume for the Archer Tigers, presented by Smart Local 85. 7-5 a year ago in the final season. Andy Dyer is the head coach. He was the first head coach in program history. Stayed there for 13 years. They got to the state finals in 2014. I think that was season number 5, and they've been in the playoffs pretty much every year since. Lost to Walton in the quarterfinals.
And a good little story about Dante Williams, quarterback at Sanford.
Yep.
He was at Sanford, mentored by Pat Sullivan, played for Pat Sullivan. Senior year, he has an injury on a great football team. Dante told us that he just wanted to be a part of that team. He wanted to keep coaching the guys up. Sullivan comes up to him one day and he says, you know what? You're a coach and you don't even know it yet, because what you're doing in crutches, coaching guys up, getting in their faces when you don't have to be here, you're going to be a coach.
Yeah, and he's a Duluth high school quarterback as well in his playing days. Went over to Sanford to play with Coach Pat Sullivan, the Heisman Trophy winner of the Auburn Tigers back in 1970. And yeah, credits Pat Sullivan as the man who pushed him into coaching even before he knew that's what he wanted to do. Said he really was influenced by Jeff Herron at Grayson, Lenny Gregory there at Collins Hill. Learned a lot, wealth of knowledge from those guys. Wide open, touchdown. William Wallace, that worked well.
Jeez.
On 4th and 1, they load the box, and Justin Johnson just drops a pass over the top of it.
Great call, great execution. It doesn't get any more wide open than that, man. Not in 7A football in the state of Georgia.
Archer on the board for the first time here in 2022.
William Wallace already working on some game ball performances right now. Look at that right now, number 18 already looking mighty nice here in his first game of 2022.
So Miles Hamby on for the PAT. Justin Johnson is the holder. Rob Upton the snapper, and the kick is up and it is good. And it is 14-7, Archer on the board. Nice drive. Finally, Archer, I think you hit the nail on the head, kind of like our first game. Took a while for Archer to get in sync right there, but when they did, a nice solid drive, and they convert on 4th down with the touchdown.
One of the things I always look for when I'm watching high-level football, or I wait for the settle-in moment. When teams start settling in, they've been hit, they've got some film, they've went back, they've looked it over, they looked at the TV, they've came back, the iPads are working, they're talking up in the booth. All right, now what are you going to do? What are you going to do to stay in this football game? What are you going to do to move into this football game? And Dante Williams in this Archer era, that is a very good building block for them right there.
So Archer right back in this game, and West Forsyth now has to overcome the loss of Peyton Strecco. They were playing very well, clicking on all cylinders on offense. And, of course, they got the touchdown from Ryder Stewart right there. Can they maintain that momentum that they had? And they did on that first possession after Strecco got hurt with the touchdown run by Ryder Stewart, but now we have a game. It looked like for a moment it was going to be all them. And Archer's entered into the picture. So Hamby ready to kick off. Coming down at the 2.
Stewart.
And Ryder Stewart from inside the 5. And Stewart out of bounds. Spotted at the 25, and that's where the Wolverines go on offense. 55 seconds left here in the first half. And West Forsyth has 2 timeouts remaining.
So here we go with Jack Tomlinson again. Another guy here, first time under the lights, senior year. It's your turn. What you got? Jack Tomlinson era in West Forsyth High School looks pretty good starting out.
Yeah, solid first half, 6 of 10, 60 yards. The touchdown pass to Henry Delp.
Rifling some of these shots in here as well.
Ryder Stewart, a couple of yards. Looks like they might just burn the clock here and get to the locker room. We go under 30 seconds to play here in the half. Both teams look like they're going to be content to go to the locker room with the score 14-7. Tomlinson hands off to Stewart again. And Stewart makes one man miss, but not that one.
Good pursuit there by the Archer team right there.
Nisi Makulu coming up to make the tackle, and that is the end of the first half. So West Forsyth, they haven't left the field yet. Did we have a penalty? Nope, that's the end of the half. So West Forsyth jumped out to a 14-0 lead. Archer responds on their final possession of the second quarter to get on the board, make this a game as they go to the locker room. 7-point lead for the Wolverines. Kaylee and Craig coming up at halftime.
SMART is sheet metal, air, rail, and transportation.
We fabricate and install HVAC systems, ductwork.
You can't just go to Home Depot and buy our product. You have to build our product.
If you can dream it, we can build it. That's our motto.
Our sheet metal workers are really proud of that work. They want to look back and go to a Falcons game with their family and point up to show what they did.
I need to try it first.
Zaxby's Chicken Finger Plate comes with 12 dippable, dunkable, do-it-any-way-you-wantable sauces, and a plate of our hand-breaded fingers. Oh, and don't forget the napkins. Famous fried chicken, endless sauce abilities. Only at Zaxby's.
Hey, is the power off on this?
I don't know. Just take it off.
Safety violation, unsafe work conditions.
In the construction trade union, safety is our highest priority, and we train you to recognize and speak out against unsafe working conditions so that everyone arrives and goes home safely. Learn about careers in the construction industry at georgiaconstructioncareers.com.
My name is John Andrewchuk. I'm an orthopedic surgeon with a specialty in sports medicine. I've been in practice here in Atlanta for approximately 10 years, and I've been with the Northside Hospital Orthopedic Institute for the past 3 years. I work mostly with athletes, specializing in hip, knee, and shoulder work. but see general orthopedics as well. The most common sideline injuries we see in football usually involve the shoulder or the knee. In the knee, we'll often see ACL injuries or meniscus tears. Those are something that we'll usually evaluate on the sidelines and see in the office, followed by an MRI. Unfortunately, usually if there's an ACL tear, we will have to go ahead and do surgery. In the shoulder, usually in young people, it's an instability issue or a labral tear. Again, that's something that we'll see in the office. Sometimes we can treat conservatively, sometimes does require surgery. And then other things we'll often see are fractures, which we'll see and diagnose with x-ray. Sometimes that does require us to go in and fix it. We're seeing more hip injuries in football players these days. I think it's probably something that's always been there, but more recently we've recognized it more. We can treat it with hip arthroscopy if people have impingement in the hip or labral tears. That's something where we didn't have the technology or the techniques available before, but now we do. And we have providers within our group that deal with that, and something that I certainly do on a regular basis. And it's a great population to deal with. People do really well after that kind of surgery, especially football players. Staying strong, fit, and limber is important in terms of injury prevention, particularly for younger people. We do worry about ACL tears in certain sports, including football, basketball, and soccer. Most of these are non-contact injuries. So people who have strong quadriceps and are more flexible are less likely to develop those kind of injuries. So we do work on that with people to prevent, even if they have an ACL injury on one side, to prevent an ACL injury on the other side. Not every injury in sport requires surgery. We evaluate people based on the type of injury they have, their activity level, and the expectations in terms of return to play. Some people will just require therapy and time to heal up their injury. Others will require surgery. Often that will require us to evaluate further with an MRI, but we'll come up with an approach and a treatment plan that is individualized for the particular patient. At Northside Hospital Orthopedic Institute, we have access to all the latest technologies. We have no real restrictions in terms of what we can use, and we have quick access to diagnostic imaging, physical therapists, and concussion specialists, and work as a team to treat the whole athlete. And so we're one of the few places where you can get everything you need all in one place.
Welcome to the halftime show presented by Sports Turf. I'm Kaylee Mansell, joined by Craig Sager and Forsyth County Athletic Director Nathan Turner. Nathan, Forsyth County is huge. So how many schools do you oversee, and how do you manage that on a day-to-day basis?
We'll have 7 high schools. We had 2 new high schools over the last 4 years, Denmark High School and East Forsyth High School. So we'll have 7 high schools to go with our traditional 5 that we've had, and we have 11 middle schools as well that have full athletic programs as well. So stay busy. You got to have really good athletic directors at each school. We're blessed that our athletic directors stay heavily involved and just try to facilitate and do the best you can and keep up and keep pace.
That's right. It was the Forsyth 5, is that right?
That's correct.
And so you were instrumental in trying to keep them in the same region so they were able to compete at that region level, but you add the new schools. But talk about how that has kind of created these rivalries we see with like North and West. They'll be playing each other in just 2 weeks. Yeah. Just talk about Forsyth in general, how putting them in the same region has been so key.
It was a big step for us. You know, Craig, for many years, the Forsyth schools were mixed in with the Gwinnett schools, and it just was a unique blend of trying to balance and compete. And then we were able to get the Forsyth 5 and get our own region. And that was really special. We saw a lot of good things happen from that. We saw a lot of rivalries really develop. And we saw success in our county. And it was a very good step for us to take that step forward and compete against each other and get into the state playoffs. So it's been good. But growth has changed that a little bit.
Nathan, you talk about region play a little bit. A lot of the Forsyth County schools were affected by regional classification. So what role do you play in that, and how has it had an effect on Forsyth County?
We try to balance the best we can. As you saw North Forsyth play earlier tonight, they went to 6A this year. So a little bit different. So they're the one that kind of pulled out. You have East Forsyth that opened last year, and so they're growing. They've not quite got there yet. So the biggest thing you wanted to try to do with North Forsyth is get as many of those rivals to be able to still play. Like West Forsyth, North Forsyth will play in a couple weeks. North Forsyth will be at Forsyth Central next Friday night. So you want to try to keep that rivalry there, but they got down and probably back together next cycle.
Yeah, I think with the reclassification this time, it cut down the travel for a lot of schools. And aren't they going down to 6 classifications after that? So it will be the same sort of thing.
These last 2 years will be the last 2 years of 7A. So that's a lot of people have been talking tonight here in the game about what will it look like in 2 years. I don't know that we can say yet because you won't have the 7A, but you'll have 6A being the largest. But where will that cut line be for 6A, 5A, and then the trickle-down effect from there as you get into 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Aside from reclassification, a shift in rivalries, what other changes can we expect to see from Forsyth County athletics heading forward?
I think, a lot of people talk about is Forsyth where Gwinnett was in the 90s because of the growth, and I think that's where we are. I think that our best days are ahead of us with the growth that we've got coming in. The expectation level is high. I just think that we're going to see success over the next, 5, 6, 7 years here in Forsyth County, and I think it'll be unparalleled for the county as we move forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, Lambert lacrosse, you talk about all these different powerhouse programs you have. Just what's it been like to see some of those powerhouse dynasties just do it year after year?
Well, I'll tell you guys, Lambert Lady Longhorn golf team is 2-time national champions.
Okay.
And so I have to throw that out there. Very proud of those girls being national champs. So it's been fun to watch that. This past year, we've been very successful in esports for South Central esports team. I got to throw that out there for them as well. So you look across the board for South County's winning some state championships in a lot of sports, but as the lacrosse team, we said the Lambert's lacrosse has been pretty much a traditional powerhouse. So that's been good for them. So got to get those traditional sports, the football, the basketball, and the baseball going. Been pretty successful in girls basketball across the county. North Forsyth's been in the Final Four. South Forsyth's been in the Final Four. West Forsyth's been in the Final Four. So you've seen that in girls basketball. So we're excited to see those other sports keep expanding and finding success along the way.
Well, Nathan, it sounds like you have a good thing going, and we can't wait to see where you take the program from here on out. But let's take a look at the West Forsyth band put on by Greater Atlanta Bash.
The Volkswagen Taos, German engineering everyone can get into. Visit your Volkswagen dealer today to learn more about the 2022 Taos, starting at $23,495. Limited inventory available.
Not all accidents happen on busy Atlanta freeways. They happen in quiet neighborhoods, like yours. No matter where your accident happened, we're here to help. We'll come to you, make sure you're getting the right medical care, and fight to get you every dollar you deserve. Wherever you are, we are. That's the upper hand. That's the strong arm.
What's it like having Xfinity Internet with supersonic Wi-Fi? It's fast, like beyond gig speed fast. With 3 times the bandwidth and the power to connect hundreds of devices at once.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box, all for just $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile. Switch today.
We're here at halftime with our special guest, the Pinnacle Girl. Bailey, I now know you know how to say Pinnacle. Could you say it for our viewers?
Yes, sir. It's home improvements.
Pinnacle Home Improvement says no, no, no. That's no down payment, no interest, and make no payments for 12 months. Get a new roof installed, windows for your entire house, or new siding now with no, no, no.
It's Home Improvement.
Welcome back to the halftime show presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. It's actually Sports Turf, but I've got Randy Bill of GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com right here with me. Now, Randy, other than this awesome set you have put together for us, giving ESPN College Game Day, what else have you been working on?
Well, first of all, it was great to put all this together and give us a new look, but the trailer behind us has been another venture. We're going to put 5 TVs in there with 10 VR headsets with construction modules on them and use it as a recruiting tool for the trades.
It also has a coffee maker, in case you guys didn't know. You can smell it from a mile away. Now, Randy, we got to talk to you a lot last year. You know, kind of want to dive a little bit deeper this year. What makes a job with Georgia Construction Careers different from a typical 9-to-5?
You know, one thing I would say is the rewarding aspect of going through and driving through downtown and looking at something that you built. And every day, you know, we're finishing a project or finishing an aspect of it. And so I would think for me and our folks in the trades, that is the biggest thing.
In my years with you, if there's anything I've learned about Georgia Construction Careers, it's very family oriented and it starts young, including the Youth Build program. Tell me a little bit more about that.
And so Youth Build is 16 to 24-year-olds through the Georgia Building Trades Academy, where we take in minorities and we get them from take them from the streets and put them into prosperity into the trades, help them earn their GEDs. We've given away 6 cars to date to break down that transportation barrier. So it's been a great program for us.
You know, you were our primary sponsor last year, came back this year. You're on set with us all the time. Why come back and be with all of us? I can't guess why.
Well, where can we find such a great family unit as this, right? From the booth to the truck, like I said the other night, it's just been great. But, you know, to be able to recruit in the high schools the way we do, we get great candidates. We had over 800 last year. That's not enough. We need more. So we continue to come out and be a part of just the community and the high school program altogether. It's just great to give back to everybody that's given so much to us.
And you mentioned that word recruitment. What does the recruitment process look like for you guys?
So, you know, just really make an application to any trade of your choice. You can go to GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com, make your application there. Everybody gets it, all the trades. And then from there, it's a pretty simple process. Just fill it out, get ready to go to work because we're going to put you to work.
Randy, it's always a pleasure to have you on. Can't wait to talk to you a little bit more after this. Again, thank you for this awesome set and this awesome thing behind us, too. We appreciate you. We will be right back after the break.
For a healthier future together, look to Northside Hospital.
In sports, an edge is everything. Hard work, practice.
Let's stay focused out there.
It all adds up for your athletes. But what about your field? The right surface is a powerful advantage that allows them to train effectively and safely.
Here we go.
And when the lights come on, your team will be ready to win. You bring the vision, we'll bring it to life. Sports Turf.
This is how we do it.
Remember as a kid, if you could dream it, you could do it? Well, you still can. Now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event. And with great offers on select Ford vehicles, you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So when the sun goes down, you'll just be getting started.
Now get 2.9% financing for 72 months on a 2022 Ford F-150, only at your local Ford dealer.
The Georgia Sheet Metal JETC provides apprentices with free training and careers that are stable and essential to the operation of the modern world. Both craft jobs and management positions offer lucrative pay with benefits as well as the stability of a growing industry. Skilled journeymen in the sheet metal industry are essential to our community now and in the future. Learn more about free technical training with no student debt at our website, careersinsheetmetal.com.
The GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com Corky Kell Classic is sponsored by Score Atlanta, your source for Georgia high school sports. Coca-Cola, We are in the people business. Georgia's Rome, where the rivers meet and the mountains begin. The Governor's Office of Highway Safety. Seatbelts save lives. The Governor's Office of Highway Safety reminds you to buckle up before every trip. And by Oracy, driving software innovation one application at a time.
Welcome back to the halftime show presented by Sports Turf. I'm Kaylee Mansell along with Craig Sager, and it's time to bring in our halftime guest presented by Personal Touch Lawn Care, and it's no other than our good friend Dave Hunter. Before we get to the tough questions, I do want to add that my good friend Dave did bring me a Brookwood Broncos sweatshirt that I will be wearing probably every single day, and I just want to let you guys know that this is a man, when he says he's going to make something happen, he makes it happen.
Well, you had on something I didn't like the other night. So.
We won't say what team it was, but thank you, Dave. It's been one of my favorite memories from Corky Kell so far. And, you know, looking back on all your years doing Corky Kell, what are some memories or games that have really stood out?
Well, of course, you know, it started in '92, and I coached in that game, in the Corky Kell game for 10 years. So, you know, a big win for us was when we played Southwest DeKalb. I can't remember, it's the third or fourth year, and they were ranked number 2 in the country. We came back and beat them at the end of the game, and it was a great win for the Brookwood program. Another big game was when we played Valdosta in '96. They scored on the last play of the game to beat us, and our kids were so upset, but it proved to our kids they could play with anybody. We came back to beat them for the state championship down there. So those were big, to me, they were personal at the time. We've had a great event, though, and it's been a great event for 31 years, and we're excited to see what the future holds.
Yeah, I mean, we saw North Gwinnett a couple years back lose in the Corky Kell, win the state title. Carver last year lost to West Forsyth, made a run to the state. But I want to ask you about just these stadiums, because we're going to be in Rome tomorrow, Mercedes-Benz on Saturday. But, I mean, just looking at some of these high school stadiums, I think other states are kind of jealous of what Georgia has going on.
Well, there's no question that the Corky Kell Classic is a premier event in the country for an early season event. And we've had 10 or 12 states call and question how you handle that. How do you do it? What are the logistics? But we've got great venues, and that's part of how we select the venues to make sure, you know, we've got the right kind of personnel at that school, as well as the stadium that's in the right setting. Like this is a great setting here.
Now, you mentioned that some states have been calling you in hopes of putting on their own Corky Kell Classic. Is that something we can expect to see in the future, or have you kind of kept it a secret?
Well, I'm not keeping any secrets. It's just hard to do, and
yeah.
Of course you got to do it on just 1 or 2 weekends. So we can't do multiple states because you can't do it every other weekend. It's got to be early season, 1 or 2 weekends. But you know, we'll be glad to help anybody and assist anybody that wants to try to do those kind of things. But it's a labor of love. You got to really work at it.
Before we cut to break, Dave, I do have one question. I did see you drinking a cup of coffee over there. What number cup of the day is that for you?
Oh, that's about 5 probably.
Yeah, that's what I was guessing.
It doesn't bother me.
I think Graham owes me $100. All right, we will be right back with more football after the break.
Remember as a kid, if you could dream it, you could do it? Well, you still can. Now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event. And with great offers on select Ford vehicles, you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So when the sun goes down, you'll just be getting started.
Now lock in 2.9% for 60 months on a 2023 Bronco Sport and Explorer, only at your local Ford dealer.
I was on my way to work early that morning. I work at the airport, and I was on my way in the shuttle bus. And all of a sudden, I hear this loud noise. That was it. We had crashed. And I couldn't move my leg. I kept saying, I can't move my leg. I can't move my leg. I know I just kept saying it. I was taken to Grady's Trauma Center. I found out that I had several serious injuries. So one of my friends called my son, and she said, I recommend Motley and Associates. So she gave him the number to Michelle, and then my son called Michelle.
One of the things I love most about being a personal injury attorney is I'm truly allowed to advocate for people who are in the worst situations of their time. Miss Green is a very loving, caring individual. She's sustained multiple significant injuries, including a shattered leg, about 12 broken ribs, and a broken vertebrae and a neck injury. She spent some time in the ICU department and then underwent basically reconstructive surgery to have pins and screws permanently put into her leg.
I think getting an attorney was the best thing that could have happened.
All of my clients become family here at the firm. That is because when I wake up every morning, I'm not going to work. I know that I'm going to advocate for people that I truly care about.
Michelle was more a friend than a lawyer. She was really concerned about me. She would call and check and make sure I was doing all right, even when it wasn't involved with the case. I would say if you're injured and you really need the help and someone that's concerned about you, friendly, call my an associate.
Welcome back. Halftime here in Cumming, Georgia. Game 2 of our doubleheader on day 2 of the Corky Kell Classic, and West Forsyth leading Archer 14-7. Matt Stewart joined by Jeff Centel of Dog Nation. Entertaining first half. Over 100 yards more rushing yards for West Forsyth. Unfortunately for them, Peyton Strecco had a lot of that, and he's out of the game with a concussion. And twice as many passing yards for Archer.
Yeah, 10 out of 11 for Justin Johnson in his Archer debut. And Strecco had like 80 yards in his 10 touches, and now Stewart, his understudy, playing like the best football player on his team. And you guys were treated to the first game we had tonight here from West Forsyth High School. This one is eerily similar. Got a little comeback action hanging around. I can't wait to see the second half.
Yeah, Archer is certainly in the game as we take a look at the halftime stats as they scored that late touchdown in the second quarter to get back in it. And the halftime stats are presented by the Technical College System of Georgia.
You start looking at it, hey, we got to mention Delp wanted 2 catches, 25 yards. His first high school touchdown. That is the younger brother of Georgia freshman All-American tight end. Well, high school All-American tight end, Oscar Delp, Henry Delp, on the board early for West Forsyth High School.
Let's take a look at the halftime highlights presented by the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame. Tomlinson to the air, and that is Peyton Strecco making it work down the sideline.
Yeah, he looked good. Acceleration, burst. Now, he's an Air Force commitment. Right here, you see this touchdown pass by Delp. Had some coverage on him as well. And that's Jack Tomlinson. Big story the first half. Strecco out with a concussion.
And then Ryder Stewart, who came in to replace him at the running back position. The 50-yard touchdown run at the time had put West Forsyth up 14-0.
We call that a scamper or a gallop? I like gallop for that.
That's a gallop. That was a gallop. That's a gallop right there. But Archer came back. Justin Johnson, you mentioned 10 of 11. That's a 4th down play right there. And William Wallace, who had 4 catches in the first half, the easy touchdown to get Archer back in the game.
Just a run-of-the-mill 102-yard first half for someone in the first game of their season.
So ready for the start of the third quarter. 3 more games coming up tomorrow in the 4-day Corky Kell Classic. Those will be at Rome's historic Barron Stadium. Brandon Adams and Rusty Manziel will have the call of all 3 games for you tomorrow. And then we're 4 games in Mercedes-Benz Stadium on Saturday.
I bet old Brandon and Rusty are watching these games tonight and thinking, man, Matt and Jeff getting some 5-star games up in West Forsyth. Yeah, it's just how we roll.
Well, the second game, if it's got as good a finish as the first, wow, we'll be fortunate for sure. Miles Hamby kicking things off for Archer. Interesting story about him. When Dante Williams walked in the weight room when he first got there, he thought that was a rush in or a tight end. He said, man, this is awesome. But that's their kicker. Coming down at the 8.
Wow.
They cut to the outside. He's got some space. And that's Aiden Cook on the return.
One of the most impressive athletes, Coach Svehla said, on the West Forsyth team. And you see right there, cornerback, that's his starting position, but obviously making a special play on special teams as well.
So Aiden Cook with the big return sets West Forsyth up well at their own 47-yard line. Jack Tomlinson brings the offense back out. He was 6 of 10 for 60 yards and a touchdown toss to Henry Delp in that first half. And number 2, Ryder Stewart, 51 yards rushing, 47 of it coming on that touchdown run. Gets the first carry of the second half, gets swallowed up right there at the line of scrimmage. Nisi Makulu making the tackle. Makulu's been in on a bunch of stops so far in this game. That's his officially third solo tackle to go along with 1 assisted. So 2nd down and 10 as Stewart was stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Stewart flares out, setting up a screen going the other way. That's to the fullback, Hunter Green.
Nice looking call right there. Again, we mentioned earlier in the show that in the broadcast that Dave Svehla, the head coach of West Forsyth, actually offensive coordinator, play caller as well. And that's a pretty good way to get your drive going in the first drive of your second half.
So Hunter Green with his first catch. Nice looking 6 foot 220 sophomore fullback.
Just your rudimentary fullback screen, you know, starting out your first possession of the second half. I like that call.
And West Forsyth usually has a pretty good history of fullbacks. Cooper Johnson in this program the last couple of years. Had a great high school football career. It's going to be 3rd down and 1. Didn't quite get past the sticks. They spotted him out at the 44. Line to gain is the 43.
Delay a game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
I didn't want to jinx it at halftime by saying that we had only 3 penalties called in the first half. So the 4th total penalty of the game right there backed it up, and now their 3rd and 1 has become a 3rd and 6. Now from the 49. See big number 79, Jace Kyle lined up at left tackle. That's a first down toss. Brian Tawu with his first catch of the game.
First time we've called his name.
Tawu's a guy they thought was going to step up and have a big year for them last year. Didn't quite work out that well, but really came on in the offseason, and they're anticipating he's going to be a big factor in the offense this season. So the 3rd down conversion for West Forsyth. Wolverines 3 of 5 on their 3rd downs in this game. 1st and 10 now. Out here to Ryder Stewart looking for that block to get around the edge and gets corralled at the 35-yard line.
Well, the roster was pretty accurate. They got him at 5'8", 160 for Stewart. Kind of looks like a baby-faced assassin a little bit, the way he comes up and flies around the ball. But this young man's played a lot of good football for a lot of years already at West Forsyth. And big story of the night, he's backing up, and now he is the lead back after the concussion suffered by Peyton Strako in the first half.
Well, you mentioned it in the 2020 season when he was a freshman because of injury. He got called on in the playoffs. Came up big for him that year. Second down and 3. Gets the rock again. And he's going to be close to the first down. Might be a little bit short. That was Kendall Lee, the Will linebacker, driving him back. And he did pick up the first down. Makulu in on that tackle as well. They did get him the first down, so 1st and 10 from the 32.
And again, West Forsyth came into this football game thinking, we know about 5 guys on our offense that we know what they can do. Subtract Strako, and now they're really working with about 4. And this is a pretty good showing for a lot of guys that were unproven until this football game tonight.
Well, Coach Svehla told us, look, the running the ball is our identity, and it's our best way to win a football game right now. And we're going to really lean on Strako and Stewart this year.
Yeah.
Chambliss, the free safety, gets him on the ground.
Yeah, he was funny. He said, yeah, we're going to have to lean on them, and I'm sure they love it. I don't know if I love it or not. But.
He said they're very excited about it. One heavy offense for the Wolverines today. Up over 200 yards of offense now in this game with what they've done so far here in the third quarter. Second down and 7. Tomlinson has got his fullback Hunter Green right there, and Green loses his helmet on the tackle. Does not get back to the line of scrimmage. That was Makulu who came up and made the tackle and took the helmet off too.
Coming up from his star spot, Nisi Makulu right there. That's a way to make a play right there. Green gloves, you know, you got to be able to tackle. You're gonna walk out there with some green gloves on.
A lot of confidence.
A lot of confidence. Moneymakers right there.
6'1", 186 senior.
Actually matches the Peachtree TV sign pretty well right there.
Good call. So now it's 3rd and 13. They got to get to the 22 for the first down. Tomlinson out of the pocket, got plenty of time, throws downfield, and it was intercepted. Intercepted at the 16, 17-yard line. Looks like Van Noot came up with it. He believes he came up with it. What are the officials going to say? They're spotting the ball at the 16. They're calling it an interception. Look at that. Van Noot just beat his man to the ball.
Yeah. All day for Tomlinson to make that.
And all that.
That's going to.
Fortunately for Archer, there's not replay in high school football because that would have been coming back. That ball hit the ground. So, yeah, it's not going to be an interception after all. The officials came in and overruled it. And West Forsyth, it's now 4th down from the 34.
Still going for it. Interesting.
Looks like they changed the play. Clock at 5, play clock at 4-3. I think they're going to take a penalty here and punt.
I agree. I thought that's what they might do.
That's exactly what they're going to do. It's interesting, though.
Delay a game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
I mean, it was 4th and 13. Here's another look at what was initially thought to be an interception and ruled an incompletion, correctly so, as you can see on the replay. And our officials here in both games have done a really good job tonight.
Yeah, nobody, I don't think, is going to get struck off the card tonight. Really opening season performance. It's pretty sharp crews.
It's been good.
It
really has. They've gotten them all right. Punt, pooch kick. Hits outside the 20 and rolls along the 20, out of bounds at the 21. So they didn't pick up a whole lot of yardage on that exchange with the punt. I just thought it was interesting on the 4th and 13.
Yeah.
Were they trying to pull them off sides to make it 4th and 8?
I guess so. They were.
Maybe they got a play on 4th and 8. I just thought it was just kind of odd.
Maybe they just wanted to see a look about what they would get into for that formation.
Maybe you're maybe right.
I think now is a good time, Matt, for us to tell our very funny Dave Svehla story. He kind of lamented to us when we were talking to him this week. It's like, okay, it's almost like his dadgummit moment. He's like, now listen, we live in the biggest region for soccer in the state of Georgia. Look at all these places, Denmark, Lambar, all these areas. He couldn't find a kicker. He's like, he told a great story one time how he pulled a kicker out of the hallways 4 or 5 years ago when they went on to win a big playoff game against North Gwinnett. Pulled him out of the hallways in week 6. And he was kind of lamenting the fact that they don't have a kicker. They're still going through tryouts, wanting to find a kicker. So public service announcement, if you want to try and kick field goals in big games for West Forsyth High School, go contact Coach Dave Svehla.
2nd down and 8. I'll come back and add something to that story right there. Pass is completed. Short gain for Archer as the ball goes to Luke Layson for the first time. So the kicker that they went and found in the hall in week 6 of the season back in 2020 Young fellow named Liam Badger, he kicked the game-winning field goal for them against North Gwinnett in the playoffs on their way to reaching the quarterfinals. And where is Liam Badger now?
Personal foul.
Liam Badger is
Roughing
a
the
dog.
passer. Defense.
Right. Love that story.
15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
He is now on the Georgia Bulldogs roster.
Never kicked in his life. They pull him out of the hallways, beg him in week 6. He wins a game in the playoffs against North Gwinnett his senior year, goes to Georgia, then Kirby has an open tryout. Liam Badger makes the Georgia roster. Love stories like that. Love stories like that. Don't let anybody ever tell you, Matt, you can't be a kicker late in the game, man.
Those kind of stories happen more often than not with kickers.
That's right.
Doesn't usually you're usually not finding any left tackles wandering around in the hallway. You've already recognized those guys around 6th or 7th grade.
I love to hear that story.
You don't find left tackles in the hallway.
Somebody begged a 6'7", 285-pound tackle in week 6 to come play, and you know what he did? It all worked out.
That's the blindside story, isn't it?
Yeah.
They made a movie about it. All right, so 2nd down and 8, ball at the 40. Archer down only a touchdown here as we get close to halfway through this 3rd quarter.
Won't you guys, I mentioned his name, dropped him earlier in the show tonight, early in our broadcast. Look at that number 13 right there at Z for Archer.
Yeah, the youngster, he hasn't had the ball go his way just yet. Pass complete to Alexander. That got blown up right away. Brady Gillis.
So we like to sometimes file names away for you guys for next. Number 13 is Jonathan Stafford for Archer. He is a true freshman starting at Z in 7A football for Archer High School. Everybody on that team tells me he's the real deal, capable of catching 40 passes this year. Looks like Clark Kent, plays like a lot more than that. Very mild manner, very fast, very businesslike. Fits in well right now with a senior-heavy laden culture. Bright future for Mr. Stafford at Archer High School.
Let's see if he gets a ball tonight. That hasn't happened yet. There's
Wide
holding
open.
right there, and that flag, they saw it just like everybody else. You could hear the whole crowd groan. Everybody saw that hold. I tell you one thing that, you know, we hit on it early, and I think it's worth coming back to, is the strength of this West Forsyth defense is their linebacking core. And not just McKee and Herbert, but Orris and Gillis on the outside. Those guys have really controlled this game.
They have.
And almost every single play, you'll see one of them on the pass rush, and the other is making the tackle or covering a man downfield.
That's right. They do have some returning AP students and starters on their offensive line, but the one thing they haven't been able to do is consistently block that front seven of West Forsyth High School.
That was Barry Richardson, got flagged right there.
Young man's got some Ivy League offers,
Princeton,
Harvard, Princeton. Yeah, we're just throwing out all these Ivy League offers here today in the Corky Kell Classic. People are going to be like,
I was
Jeff,
like, where do these kids come from? I didn't know anybody who could even think about ever going to any of those kind of schools.
There's some folks watching tonight saying, Jeff, can you tell us about the Texas A&M offer, the kid from Arkansas? How about a good old Ole Miss offer? This is Ivy League offer tonight here on
the Crimson of Harvard. Line drive kick taken by Stewart at the 28.
Stewart making play.
Driven out of bounds at the 40. 12-yard return, so that's where West Forsyth goes back on offense. So we'll step aside. Just under 6 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. Wolverines up by a touchdown.
In a crash, get cash. No matter the size of your wreck, you're gonna need a big check. You're gonna need the strong arm. Call attorney John Foy and Associates.
We haven't won our clients hundreds of millions by settling cheap. Get it all. Make the call.
In a crash, get cash. No matter the size of your wreck, you're gonna need a big check. Get the strong arm. Attorney John Foy and Associates.
Sometimes it's the little victories that mean the most. Those everyday celebrations that bring a smile to our faces and joy to our hearts. At Ingalls, we know there's no one you'd rather share those miniature, memorable moments with than family. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
What's it like having Xfinity internet with supersonic Wi-Fi? It's fast, like beyond gig speed fast. With 3 times the bandwidth and the power to connect hundreds of devices at once.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box, all for just $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile. Switch today.
You coming?
Yeah, I'm coming.
The Volkswagen Taos, German engineering everyone can get into. Visit your Volkswagen dealer today to learn more about the 2022 Taos, starting at $23,495. Limited inventory available.
14-7, West Forsyth on their home field leading Archer. They've won their previous 2 Corky Kell events in this stadium, trying to go 3-0 in this event. Just under 6 to play here, third quarter. Matt Stewart, Jeff Sintel, and Tomlinson back to pass, throwing back the other way for the screen pass.
Trying to set up Delp again, the young. I call him young Delp just because this is his first real foray into varsity playmaking. He's actually a junior, already with a touchdown tonight. And folks that are just joining us, that is the younger brother, one of 3 Delp brothers.
Russell Richmond, the boundary corner, 6 foot 170 sophomore. Remember how it used to be if you had a 6-foot corner, that was just crazy. Nobody had 6 foot. Now everybody's got 6-foot corners.
Yeah. One of the things covering recruiting the way I do, Matt, is I've found that more and more the freshmen that are coming up right now look like juniors and seniors with SEC offers. In the last 5 years, it is phenomenal how much the bodies have changed because everybody's got their trainer, everybody's got their speed guy, everybody's got
nutritionist,
everybody's got access, cold tubs, hot tubs, creatine, hyperbaric chambers. I mean, it's really Georgia high school athletes are making a quantum leap where you see kids all over the board that look like guys that had offers when they were juniors and seniors 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago.
That was Ryder Stewart on the carry, picks up the first down across the 50, and Stewart's now up to 66 yards rushing in this game on 9 carries.
Looks like the formula for Svehla is coming true. He wants to hang his hat on the run game to win a football game, especially early in the year.
If you can do it, why not? And timeout's going to be called by West Forsyth.
Delay game, offense.
They didn't get the timeout.
Penalty.
Svehla's like, hey. We called a timeout right here. We'll see if he wins the argument. The officials are going to talk it over. Svehla thought they had the timeout called before the flag was dropped.
There's no penalty on the play. Timeout. West Forsyth. First charge timeout of the half.
So let's take a look at the 2022 Georgia Elite Classic recruiting report for the Archer Tigers. It is presented by Ford.
So you got Justin Johnson, just made a verbal commitment recently to Army. He transferred in from Central Gwinnett, committed to Army. Going to be the quarterback, not just an athlete right there. Going to run the triple option. He says they're going to open it up a little bit. And then Chad Alexander, dad played running back for Central Michigan, wore number 32. Chad likes his 2 a little bit better. Got a lot of Ivy League offers. He mentioned Mercer was a school that's recruiting him as well. Wants to be a businessman when his time is up, and really fast, really well respected. West Forsyth actually was worried quite a big deal about him heading into this football game.
So they told Justin they're going to open up the offense at Army?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I mean,
okay.
Open up. You don't have to open it up. Just
no, but that offense is perfect for his skill set.
That's right.
It really is.
It's perfect.
Now, how much they end up throwing the ball, we'll see.
I mean, there's degrees to open it up. You can open up a door, a sliver, and you could be calling opening up a door.
So 1st and 10, ball at the 48. Stewart gets the handoff again, going to the short side. Looks like he tripped up trying to make a cut. I don't think there was contact there, just stumbled. So coming out of the timeout, they pick up a yard. A little bit more than actually lost a yard. So 2nd and 11.
Good look right there at the offensive line for West Forsyth. Coach Svehla said it's probably one of the smallest he's ever seen in his career for one of his teams in 22, 23 years.
See 79 there, Jace Kyle, probably the most experienced guy they have there. Started 3 games as a sophomore, every game last year as a junior. Coach Svehla thinks he'll get some offers before the season's over if he plays up to his potential. Pass completion to Lincoln Nelson. First catch for Nelson. They've really spread the wealth, I should say, among their wide receivers and backs here. That's the 7th by my count, 8th by my count, man to catch a ball for West Forsyth in this offense. So 11 completions for Tomlinson, and he's gone to 8 different guys. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Let me go back. I think 7. I'm having a hard time counting and talking at the same time.
It's like don't text and drive.
A little challenged here.
Count, talk, broadcast, call a game.
Trying to multitask, not my strong suit. Tomlinson back to throw.
Nice ball.
Going deep. Got his man at the 15, inside, down to the 3-yard line. Tewu with the catch.
Yeah, he talked about it. They were wanting big things from him a year ago, and now big things are happening in the opener of his senior year, and that's the best ball we've seen from Tomlinson tonight. Love the play execution right there. Love the play diagram as well.
Yeah, stood in there, and there was heat on him, too, coming around, curling around and getting up in his face. And Tewu with the catch all the way down to the 2-yard line, and now the Wolverines in the red zone, presented by Northside Hospital. They'll spot it at the 4.
One of the things Strako told me is he said this week he's so happy for Jake Tomlinson, ready for him to make a bunch of plays for West.
Getting his opportunity, having a fine first varsity start.
Timeout, Archer. First charge timeout of the half.
So we'll step aside as Archer thinks this one over, but the Wolverines have it, 1st and goal to go.
Thinking about what to do after high school? How about jumping directly into your future? The 22 colleges of the Technical College System of Georgia offer more than 600 programs to prepare students for the real world. From business to healthcare to professional and technical services, our graduates go straight into a career. And tuition, surprisingly affordable. At TCSG, you will succeed sooner. Apply today at succeedsooner.com.
There are no words to describe the perfect pairing of Zaxby's hand-breaded fingers and our 12 delectable sauces. But there is a sound, and that sound is The Zaxby's Chicken Finger Plate with endless sauce abilities. Only at Zaxby's.
Are you the one others rally around? Inspire soldiers to follow your lead. Want to forge a better future? Start with the structures that support tomorrow's missions. You believe the best offense is a good defense. We've got a great way to prove that theory. Explore more than 200 careers at GoArmy.com.
Hey, does it matter if this leaks?
It don't matter to me, can't see it from my house.
Illegal use of hands and proper training.
GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com has 14 different highly skilled trades with free training in our certified apprenticeship programs to train you the right way. Find your career at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com.
The Corky Kell Classic is presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Transform your future today.
Under 3 minutes to play here in the third quarter. West Forsyth leading by a touchdown, but poised to increase that to a 2-touchdown lead here as they have it 1st and goal to go from the 4-yard line. Matt Stewart, Jeff Sintel, getting near the end of this second day of the Corky Kell Classic. We've had 2 fabulous games here in Cumming, Georgia. Tomlinson to throw, It is complete, and that is a touchdown to Hunter Green.
Fullbacks happen. Now look at that. Look at him rubbing his belly like there. He just got fed. He just ate right there. Oh, man, that does your heart good, seeing a fullback rub his belly after scoring a touchdown.
Hunter Green with his 3rd catch of the game. This one goes for 6. How about the arm slot on that thing? Dropped down and heaved it over their sidearm.
Shortstop action right there a little bit.
Like he was tossing to second base to start the double play.
That's pretty good right there. That's worthy of a telestrator right there. You want to circle that thing right there, and that's got it in his belly. Hit him in the breadbasket.
Nunez with the PAT. It is 21-7. West Forsyth back up by 2 scores late in the 3rd quarter.
So when I got in the program, I was 18. At the time, I think the most appealing thing was, you know, I could start out going to school and making money while I'm going to school. Not coming out in 4 or 5 years, you know, $30,000, $40,000 in debt. That was the biggest attraction to this. I got in 3 days after graduation and hadn't looked back.
Are you the one others rally around? Inspire soldiers to follow your lead. Want to forge a better future? Start with the structures that support tomorrow's missions. You believe the best offense is a good defense. We've got a great way to prove that theory. Explore more than 200 careers at GoArmy.com.
Sweetheart, please don't forget to wear your seatbelt. I got it, Mom. It's a really nice day, living in the right space. Breathing your grace, got me feeling some kind of way.
In the blink of an eye, so many tomorrows can disappear. Buckle up for your future, every trip, every time. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Beginning the morning you opened your eyes, we spent every waking moment preparing you for the day you'd leave our nest. Whether it's driving to practice or helping with homework, it's all prepared you for, what am I going to be when I grow up? Will you be ready?
After much thought, I made my decision to take my talents to the IBEW Local 613.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers is not simply a job, it's a career. Visit IBEW613.org to begin a new future today.
21-7, West Forsyth. That young man right there, Hunter Green, with the touchdown catch. Listen up, high school football players. The Atlanta Falcons and Ticketmaster have partnered together for an all-new high school football ticket program. For more information on how you can get a free ticket to see the Atlanta Falcons play, visit atlantafalcons.com/high school tickets or scan the QR code that is at the bottom of your screen right now. So a 2-touchdown lead again. You know, leading up to the game, we talked to Dante Williams. He told us he just wanted his players to play fast and simple. I've seen some good football. He has been an OC for 2 state champions here in the state, and he feels like this team potentially can be really good. What's your assessment of what you've seen so far, nearly 3 quarters Archer here tonight?
You know, I think we've made the point a couple times. I think West Forsyth's linebackers are controlling this game, and they're just doing enough right now. I mean, these are the moments where you find out what you've done so far in your fall, what you've done so far getting ready for your first opponent. Like I said, I think Dante Williams is an excellent coach. I think he's got his team prepared to come back with a counterpunch here for West Forsyth.
Ball coming down at the 25, the return up to the 30. So that's either McRae or Chambliss. They have 2 17s, name not on the back. As you take a look at the scoring summary presented by Breda Pest Management, 6 plays, 60 yards, and the 4-yard touchdown catch by Hunter Green. And it was, of course, Brian Tawu who set it up with that long catch that you saw prior to that highlight right there. And Hunter Green got fed.
So I've been thinking about this one. Raleigh Herbert and Riley McKee, obviously the R&R boys, right? And I've been workshopping a nickname for them.
Mm-hmm.
So you know when you go on vacation, you get a little R&R. So what you do with West Forsyth, you got the R&R boys in there. You put the offense on vacation. That's what they're doing tonight.
Carson Taylor with the quarterback sack. Just getting a lot of pressure, and that's the defensive end right there getting to the quarterback.
He hasn't had a lot of time now. He give him an inch and he's going to take 6, 7, 8 yards, but hasn't had a lot of room to run right now.
2nd down and 15. See if Archer can get something going offensively. Just hasn't been maybe the kind of offense that you'd expect for the guy that was the OC at Collins Hill last year. I know it's probably less than he desired. 142 yards of offense so far. And Johnson gets away from the quarterback sack initially, but not the second time, as Riley McKee is there to clean it up.
3 sacks a year ago, 5'9". He's a great long snapper. Again, Riley and Raleigh, just a little R&R for that offense.
Back-to-back quarterback sacks. You saw Riley McKee. He didn't give up on the play. He got pushed out of the screen, out of the screen shot, and still came back with his second effort to get the quarterback sack. Now 3rd and 20.
Very impressive. Both of these young men came in with a lot of hype and expectation around their game, and they are as advertised.
Yeah, and Coach Svehla feels like that, McKee might have a chance at the next level as a long snapper. He's a guy that does long snap for him, and he can get downfield and make a tackle. Here comes the pressure again. Johnson gets away, at least for the moment, and then is dropped in the open field. James McCullough, the backup linebacker, was chasing him, and it's going to be 4th down.
That was a great effort by Johnson just to get a meager 3 or 4 yards right there. Could have been a lot worse.
That was nearly 3 quarterback sacks in a row. Let's check the penalty. It's going to be declined. I believe it's holding.
Holding. Offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Archer's going to have to give it back with under a minute to play here in the 3rd quarter. So Hamby back out there to kick.
Interesting, you see the way that the West Forsyth team is developing, and you think about the Straco concussion. Next week they got Marietta, and that obviously put Straco in doubt for that game next week as well, depending on the grade of concussion.
That's a tremendous kick by Hamby. Stewart making the fair catch at the 33. Let's take a look at the 2022 team schedule presented by Zaxby's, and this is exactly what you were talking about there for West Forsyth. The Marietta Blue Devils, they've got a big one coming up on Saturday night against the Grayson Rams, the final game of the Corky Kell at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Look at this. We got some Corky Kell crossfire right now. Remember those North Forsyth Raiders we just saw? We're going to see them match up against West Forsyth. Last year, North Forsyth actually beat West in somewhat of a shocker.
Region opener comes at Denmark on October 7th. They've also got a good Cambridge team and Cherokee team in their non-region, and the region also includes Milton and South Forsyth. So Orris getting his first carry. We were telling you earlier that Orris was a running back who they moved over to the linebacker spot with Strecco, but now that Strecco's down, Orris getting the sub in as the number 3 running back. They made that move because Orris, really talented ball player, they felt he was, too good to be a number 3 running back. Let's find a spot for him on the defensive side of the ball, and he's really taken to it as he's going to run out the clock here at the end of the 3rd quarter. 21-7 as we get ready to head to the 4th quarter. Is West Forsyth just going to close this one out, or does Archer have something for him in the final 12 minutes? We're about to find out. Wolverines up by 2 scores as we step aside. We'll come back. It'll be time for the 4th quarter when we get back.
Wake Up Atlanta from 7 to 9 on Peachtree TV.
It's First Alert traffic when you need it.
It's First Alert forecast to help you plan ahead.
And all the Atlanta news you need to help you plan your day.
Wake Up Atlanta from 7 to 9 only on Peachtree TV.
A Woodstock police officer says he was just doing what he's supposed to do.
She's a great kid with a great family.
But it meant a whole lot more to one family, and today they're saying thank you.
Friday at 5 on CBS 46.
Back again, huh? You must love losing.
You're buying the next one.
You gotta win one first.
Okay.
Mix and match your two favorites for $3.29 at any size soft drink for $1. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Where are you meant to be? Leading teams here, taking paid time off here, letting your skills shine here, or here, or here. Wherever you're meant to be, 110 helps you get there. Based on your skills, we match talented Black job seekers with high-paying careers that don't require college degrees, helping you land the salary, benefits, and work-life balance you deserve. Empower your career with 110 and get to where you're meant to be.
You've been waiting. It's your time. Fall is coming, and it's still 80 degrees. Minor detail. Fall hard with a $3 medium pumpkin spice signature latte from Dunkin'.
Start of the fourth quarter. Game 2 of this doubleheader on a Thursday night. Corky Kell Classic in full swing now. We got 2 more days to go, and we've got 7 more games to go. 3 of them at Rose-Barron Stadium starting at 2:30 tomorrow. And then 10 a.m. Saturday at Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the quadruple header. Boris gets the first carry of the fourth quarter, gets to the 50, picks up 4.
Just looking through the stats, I know we've talked up Raleigh Herbert tonight, but his running mate Riley McKee currently with 4 total tackles, 2.5 sacks for McKee, the talented inside linebacker senior for West Forsyth.
Yeah, 4.5 total sacks for, we'll make that 5 total sacks. 4.5 wouldn't make sense. 5 total sacks for West Forsyth in this game so far.
Made life tough for Justin Johnson, and that's not the easiest thing to do.
Key's got 2.5. Gillis and Taylor 1 apiece. Smith has 1, and Hoffman's got 0.5. Yep. So actually,
the other thing you talk about,
that's 6 sacks.
Things that
told you I can't add and talk at the same time.
Things that stick out. Not only they have 6 sacks, but remember a guy that we thought was going to be a big part of this game plan, a big part of this end-all game. Chad Alexander, their talented Archer tailback, 4 carries, 14 yards.
Yep. Kind of get the feeling right here that let's see what they do here on 4th down. You know, the smart thing to do is punt. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do. There's no sense to do anything silly here and give Archer a short field and get back in the game. So just going to rely on your defense. Defense has done a heck of a job. I mean, they have really shut down Archer. Archer through 3 quarters of play, 143 total yards on 33 plays.
Even though they completed 12 out of 14, they've had everything hemmed in tonight.
Yeah, and 12 out of 14, most of that have, you know, just been little bitty passes.
Yep.
Low snap. End over end. That's going to be a poor kick. And bounce sideways and running back upfield, and finally West Forsyth gets on top out of at the 33.
Well, the West Forsyth coach wasn't kidding when he said he's looking for a kicker, right? Kickers of all shapes and sizes. Punters, kickers, whatever you got.
Archer going back on offense. When we get back, they got to come up with something here. They're down 2 scores.
I need to try it first.
Planting season is here, and it's time to give your yard the perfect touch from the professionals at Personal Touch Lawn Care. Why Personal Touch? Courteous service, attention to detail, and a desire to give you the best lawn in your neighborhood.
They have the knowledge and skills to do anything that I would need.
Call now for a 25% discount on design and consultation services.
Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you.
Personal Touch Lawn Care, 770-908-1238, or online at ptlcatlanta.com.
SMART is sheet metal, air, rail, and transportation.
We fabricate and install HVAC systems, ductwork.
You can't just go to Home Depot and buy our product. You have to build our product.
You can dream it, we can build it. That's our motto.
Our sheet metal workers are really proud of that work. They want to look back and go to a Falcons game with their family and point up to show what they did.
The GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com Corky Kell Classic is sponsored by CBS 46 First Alert Weather. Download the app in the App Store. The Great Atlanta Bash, showcasing the city's best. The Georgia Elite Classic. Nominate yourself today for the December All-Star Games. The Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame. The greatest take the stage on October 22nd at the College Football Hall of Fame. And by the National Signing Day Frenzy. Celebrate Georgia's seniors and the next stages of their careers.
Just under 10 minutes to play in this one. West Forsyth up 21-7 as Archer goes back on offense, looking to kickstart this thing. Justin Johnson, their first-year quarterback out of Central Gwinnett, with the handoff, and that's Chad Alexander. You mentioned he had only 4 carries. Well, there's number 5 right there. That's something they really needed to do that right there, because the West Forsyth defense has just been teeing off on Justin Johnson. They got to loosen it up a little bit, and a nice run by Alexander perhaps does that right there.
7-yard gain right there. By far his biggest carry of the night.
Quick fire and a first down catch. P.J. Rogers, that's the first catch of the game for him.
Basically an overhauled wide receiver core right now. Even Coach Dante Williams didn't even really know what he had or who was going to step up or who was going to flourish in tonight's game.
Johnson backpedaling, going to throw it away. You're exactly right. I mean, he, much like West Forsyth, who comes in with a pretty unproven wide receiver core, but they've gotten a lot out of their guys, and Tomlinson's been able to spread the wealth. That has not been the case for Archer so far tonight.
I mean, outside of William Wallace, over 100 yards in the first half.
He hadn't gotten the ball in the second half.
That's right.
From the spot of the foul, first down.
Looks like another thing we're seeing is Stewart has basically resigned himself to just playing safety, trying to just be a safety right now. They don't need any more points, just trying to hold Archer back. That's why you saw some of his backups in the
Orris, yep. Saw Orris carrying the ball there in the third quarter.
You spoke about yin and yang earlier. When I saw those guys getting carries, that to me dialed me into what Mr. Stewart's job description was going to be for the rest of the evening.
So the penalty against Archer backs him up, and it's going to be 1st and 20. Ball back at the 34. Rogers goes in motion. He's out there. Instead, they go to Wallace. First catch for him in the second half, and his 5th catch of the game.
just fun watching Raleigh Herbert play football. He was back there, basically just one backer behind the line. A lot of other guys were pressed up close to gaps on the line of scrimmage, and just watching him play, watching him attack, always making contact, always being right in the center of the play right there. No wonder the West Forsyth staff says best we've ever seen, best we've ever had when it comes to this young senior currently committed to Furman.
2nd down and 12. Justin Johnson going up top on the far sideline. It is caught. Was he inbounds? They're going to rule that he was out of bounds.
Pretty nice looking ball there for somebody that's going to do a lot of running around at Army one day.
That was Luke Layson bringing it in, but he couldn't get the foot down. Yep, comes down clearly out of bounds.
Yep.
So now it's 3rd down and 12.
Where they got Alexander now flushed out wide.
They're going empty set here. 4 wide receivers to the near side, and Layson, who just couldn't get the feet down, up at the top. Heavy rush. Johnson fires, and Layson did not hold on to it. It's 4th down. So 4th down, and let's see if they punt here. Johnson, remember, is also their punter. So, but this looks like they're looking to the sideline for a play call. Down to 7.5 minutes and down 2 scores. They probably have to go for it here. Nope, going to quick kick. And it was nearly blocked, and he got it out of there.
Look at that.
He can add that to his resume. He's not a bad punter.
Inside the 10 as well.
On those short kicks.
Going to be pleased with his work as a punter tonight. And then, you know, overall, I mean, West Forsyth's done a great job stymieing the Archer offense, but a lot of good plays so far from Justin Johnson.
So West Forsyth back on offense, trying to close this one out when we get back.
Hey Atlanta, we're the #1 certified used vehicle dealer in all of Georgia. Why? Quality vehicles, fair prices, and a really fun experience. With Beaver Direct, whether you purchase a Toyota, Ford, Honda, Nissan, Chevrolet, Lexus, BMW, Subaru, they're all certified. No one else can offer you that. Every vehicle gets a 164-point inspection, meticulous reconditioning, 12-month, 12,000-mile platinum warranty. Check it out at beaverdirect.com and see for yourself why Beaver Direct is #1.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingalls Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingalls Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You want fries with that? You want fries with that? Want fries with that?
Welcome to Wendy's. What would you like with your hot and crispy fries?
Wendy's hot and crispy fries. Guaranteed hot and crispy, or we'll replace them. They're even preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's. Get to Wendy's and try them for yourself today.
Where are you meant to be? Leading teams here, taking paid time off here, letting your skills shine here, or here, or here. Wherever you're meant to be, 110 helps you get there. Based on your skills, we match talented Black job seekers with high-paying careers that don't require college degrees, helping you land the salary, benefits, and work-life balance you deserve. Empower your career with 110 and get to where you're meant to be.
7.5 minutes to play in this one. West Forsyth leading by 2 touchdowns. That's Braylon Bull right there, number 6. He's a wide receiver on the West Forsyth football team. Back during the spring, he's a baseball player too. They found a lump on his trachea, and he has cancer. He's undergoing chemotherapy and radiation, and the whole school is kind of rallied around Braylon Bull. They sell T-shirts here on campus that say "Fight like a Bull," and he really has embodied the spirit of this football team.
He's a guy that would, still participating in the football team, still showing up to practice. One of the things he felt bad is he had to tell his coach, he's like, I'm going to miss practice today. And what's the reason? Because I got chemotherapy. And Coach Svehla's like, man, yeah, what am I going to say there? It's one of those things. Strako told me about him this week. Very inspirational. Everybody in the school, everybody on the team has really rallied around him. Heck of a baseball player.
Ryder Stewart back in there and picks up a yard on the play. So we certainly wish him the best. Our prayers out to his family, too. What a tough battle for anybody. Just imagine. That's not something that you think of, and it happens, of course. We just don't think about it very often unless it impacts our life directly. Just don't think about a high school kid being struck down with cancer. But it does happen.
And with, it's all about football players and offers and games and big plays and entertainment. But there are great storylines all throughout high school football. They're chock full of them. And that one, stories about him catching bullpens in full gear while dealing with this. He can't play football right now because he can't take the contact. But he's been an inspiration to many. And I hope the very best thoughts and prayers out to him and his family as they deal with this. And hopefully they get past this.
Tomlinson just heaves it away. Now it's third down coming up. But with each play, time running short for Archer. Great pursuit on defense. So now it's going to be third down and 9. West Forsyth trying to improve to 3-0 all-time in the Corky Kell Classic. 3 years they've hosted the event here in Wolverines Stadium. Beat Mays in year 1. Carver Atlanta last year. Getting Archer this year. And Ryder Stewart gets dropped in his tracks by Makulu. Fourth down, so the Archer defense still hanging in there, trying to get the ball back for their offensive buddies.
Well-coached player right there, well-coached play right there. He saw it, he went for it, he attacked the ball, a great play, and hey, those green gloves getting some action tonight for the Archer Tigers.
Makulu, a team-high 11 total tackles now tonight and 2 TFL. Had a great game.
We talked about the culture that Archer's bringing to their program under Dante Williams. Listen to that, what they call their special teams unit. They call themselves the punt, bomb squad. Kickoff team is called Black Ops. Punt return, punt block is called SWAT. Kickoff return is Delta Force. And special teams is just PAT/field goal.
Nunez gets it out of there, gets a big bounce. It's going to be taken on the bounce by Alexander. Alexander trying to get around to the other edge and does. Back around to the 50 and finally out of bounds around the 45. So Alexander making something happen for Archer, gets him on the other side of the 50 with 5 minutes to go.
See, that's that ability that the West Forsyth staff was worried about right now. Look at him put his foot down and go. Got a little wiggle right there, running out sideline to sideline, making guys miss. Big gain, special teams. Biggest play of the night for Chad Alexander.
Well, you talked about the names they give to their special teams, trying to make it special for the players, an identity for that group, working that special team. Another thing he brought over from Coach Lenny Gregory was OKG, our kind of guys.
Yeah, I love that.
That's kind of their thing. You're one of our kind of guys.
That means you get with the program, you work hard, you don't make excuses, you just suck it up and play, then you're an OKG type of guy. It really tickled him when he heard his players referring to that as well on their own.
Don't go anywhere just yet. Archer now has it down to the 40-yard line. 6th catch of the game for William Wallace.
Continuing to try and spread it out right here.
4.5 to play. Johnson. That quick pass to Rogers got tripped up right away by Herbert. He's close to the first down, a little bit short. 3rd down coming up.
One of the things Williams told us about was like, how do you do it? How do you build a program? He's been around Jeff Herron. He's been around Lenny Gregory. What he took from all those mentors and guys is organization, organization, organization. That doesn't mean, you know, having detailed notes and everything and itineraries. It means having a support staff around you, because stuff's going to happen. Stuff's going to go wrong. It's going to get crazy even for a veteran coach, but you need that organization.
Third down and 1, right up the middle, and Alexander has the first down. Don't turn that channel just yet.
That's right.
Archer's got a shot. Here's a look at our fans of the game presented by Gordo's. They're still in it. Their team trying to get their first win of the season. Meantime, it is 1st and 10 for Archer at the 18-yard line. Johnson got a man out there and overthrows him. Just put too much on it. It sailed on him. Layson was wide open. So 2nd and 10.
One of the things that was sources talking to a bunch of people about Justin Johnson, they used the word gym. They used the word competitive. The one thing that I really stands out is last year he went through some great personal trauma. He lost his older brother. His older brother was 20 years old. He lost him. He not only endured, stayed with the team, he played the week of his brother's funeral. Why? Because he knew that was important to his brother, and he knew that's what his brother would want to do. Just an out-and-out, all-out competitor, Justin Johnson has the total respect of his team and everybody that's coached him in the past.
Heavy rush. Gillis nearly got to him, made him rush that throw to Alexander. Now it's 3rd down. And again, it's that linebacking core. Brady Gillis this time coming after him.
Trying to get the ball again to Alexander after he's made some flash plays for them all through this drive.
Gillis with 7 tackles tonight, 2 TFL.
Yeah, that stat sheet for the West Side is going to look pretty sporty tonight.
3rd down and 10. Big one right here. 4 down territory, down 2 scores. Johnson drops it off to Rogers. Rogers not going to pick up the first down. And now it's 4th down.
Just looks like blue shirts and gold helmets everywhere. They're creeping up on the line. They're everywhere. It's like a big, long wall of West Forsyth defenders everywhere you look.
Well, here you go. It's 4th down, right at 10. Got to get it to the 9, a little bit inside that to keep this game going. Convert this thing to have a chance to at least have an opportunity to still win it. Going up top, going fade, and it is broken up. Broken up by Gray Brockman, and that might do it for Archer tonight.
Needed to get a little bit more on that ball right there.
Going for Layson, and Gray Brockman,
great coverage.
3rd-year starter, comes up with a big play. So the ball goes over on downs. Archer does have 2 timeouts remaining. They'll need to use those here on defense. But a 2-score lead for the Wolverines, and they can grind out the clock. Stewart, shake and bake. Gets down the sideline up to the 38-yard line, driven out of bounds. You know, what a luxury to have a guy like Ryder Stewart and William Orris to back up Strecco, who was having a fabulous first half when unfortunately he suffered a concussion. But they're able to bring Stewart in, Orris in, and basically not miss a beat.
Yeah, it's funny. Strecco was telling me, like, I asked him what his favorite part of playing the game was, and he said, really just cutting up with Stewart. They're big friends, they're thick as thieves, and they really have fun playing football together and just cutting up and having fun in the middle of the game.
Now you lose some dynamics, you lose some explosiveness with Strecco out of the lineup, but Orris and Stewart are certainly capable of the heavy lifting. Clock goes down to 2 minutes. Time now to take a look at our play of the game. It's presented by the Mechanical Trades Institute, and it comes from Ryder Stewart subbing in for the injured Strecco. He goes 47 yards to put West Forsyth up 14-0. Our play of the game, Ryder Stewart and the 47-yard touchdown run. Stewart, 13 carries, 98 yards right now. And timeout, I believe, called by Archer.
Timeout. West Forsyth.
Oh.
Second charge timeout of the half.
Interesting. So West Forsyth takes the timeout instead of Archer. They still have 2 remaining. So now the Wolverines will get ready for the Marietta Blue Devils. They'll get a great chance to scout them right here on Peachtree TV Saturday night when they take on Grayson. That's funny because taking on this Archer team with all the new personnel, new head coach, Coach Svehla says, man, they were digging through Huddle. They were digging through Twitter because kids post on social media to try to find out, you know, who's playing what, who could do what, who was wearing what number. And, of course, they were going back and watching Collins Hill video, too, which for scheme, yeah, but there's no Travis Hunters and no Sam Horns here.
That's right. It's kind of funny over the last 5 years. I remember when I was –
or Ethan Davis's, for that matter.
Another great guy, another good name. It's kind of funny over the years. I used to be when I was at practice, I'd take video of players and I'd have to check with the coach. Hey, man, you okay with this stuff coming out? Is you not want this game plan, this formation out there? And the coaches now are like, man, it's everywhere. They tweeted out after the huddle.
Exactly.
They can't keep anything secret right now, and it's not like anybody's inventing any new ball plays out there.
So 2nd down and 9 coming out of the timeout. Orris now in there getting the carry.
You just have to think, if you're a West Forsyth person, West Forsyth fanatic, this is exactly the type of game they wanted tonight. Played out exactly. Take away the Strecco concussion, because, of course, obviously nobody wanted to see that, but exactly the way it all played in their hands.
It's the game's key first down, presented by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. It was that big catch by Tawu inside the 5-yard line, set up the Wolverines' 3rd touchdown of the night. Really the backbreaker right there. Might have been the back-breaking play of the game. But it is our game's key first down, brought to you by the AJC. Under a minute to go now. And that's Orris again. Looks like he's going to close it out. Over 200 yards rushing now for the Wolverines tonight. They're right at 201 prior to that carry right there.
Going to win a lot of football games with 200 yards rushing.
Timeout, Archer. Second charge timeout of the half.
So, Matt, you've been a part of this event for a long time. You got me thinking there when you talked about Marietta playing on Saturday, and then you've got West Forsyth playing on a Thursday. Is there any sort of thing as a Corky Kell advantage when you play on Thursday and your opponent plays on Saturday, and then you guys meet again on a Friday? Does that give them 2 extra days to heal up? What do you think about that?
I think it's probably more prep than heal up. I mean, we are talking, and there is some heal up factor here, but they are high school kids. They
healing factors.
They heal a lot faster and
vulnerable
than older players. But there is some of that. But I think more of it's the preparation time. You know, so West Forsyth gets a little bit of a jump, because I don't know that Marietta has taken any time to work on West Forsyth with Grayson on the schedule Saturday night.
Yeah, probably ill-advised to try something like that.
So don't think you're looking ahead to game 2 when you got Grayson lined up on Saturday night. So I think it's a little bit of prep time there, but the rest is also. But I think it's more prep than rest.
Be great to see somebody cook up a stat about short rest coming off a Corky Kell game the following week.
Well, I mean, we could look and see what the records are, and you know, you can maybe draw a conclusion from
West
that.
Forsyth, the final time out of the half.
Usually I'd gather what happens is if you're good enough to be playing in the Corky Kell, then you're usually probably going to win your week 2 game anyway.
Tell you what, though, playing in 7A, and we hear it all the time when we talk to coaches. I mean, it is just hard to put together a schedule in 7A. Yeah, especially if you're coming out of a region that has 5 teams. That means you have to come up with 6 non-region games. And if you are a good program, you look at, for instance, I believe Buford, who will be playing in the Milton event this weekend against Thompson, which is the #1 team in Alabama. They've supplanted Hoover as the team to beat over there.